bullshitting with you, and
Yep, let's do it.
we didn't start bullshitting early enough.
We did, but
Yeah.
we continued.
You didn't get to see. Can you see this?
Daddy-O, and I
Hold
can
on.
see. And Delight, and Prince Paul, and Wise, and Nice, and Bobby Simmons.
I did not make this shirt. I bought this from Daddy-O.
Nice. And you will definitely show it to him then.
I will.
All right. Let's do it. We got no listeners or anything, but that's fine.
No, yeah. We're only 38 seconds in. We're all right. Let me clean my glasses real quick.
How long do you think Daddy-O's going to talk?
I have no idea. You got somewhere to be?
Not really.
Okay. I don't know.
I just know. Oh, well, Cranky's here, and that's really all that matters now.
Yeah. Lion, I asked Lion, I said, how long does he want to talk? He's like, he'll talk as long as you want him to. I'm like, all right, I'll email him and tell him be there at 9, and we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good, man.
All right, let me get over here. Let me come down here and what up, Rob?
And I have a feeling this is going to be another one of those weeks where we might not get music in.
We may not. You never know. Well, we're gonna have to get an old to the new. But
yes, definitely that one.
All right, I'm gonna give you a 5 in Shree. Woo's your mama?
This week on the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast, we bring you a call for action, a couple of festivals, a stolen recipe, Uncle Luke wants your vote, Suge has some words of advice for Diddy, and a visit from a very special guest. What else? Let's listen.
It's not just any day. It's Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Now we'll pop the strength, not street night.
And here's your host, Bill Winter, and Mr. Throwback Thursday himself, Robinson.
And a very pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome to Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 532, coming at you live and direct with your two favorite idiots, bringing you all the hip-hop news that you can stomach on a regular basis. Bill is up in New York. Jamie is down in Virginia. How are you, my friend?
I am well. We're not going to get into it, but we both shared an interesting viewing before the show.
Yes.
And most people are probably thinking like, oh, did they show a video of something? Did they? No, we were watching the Ranger game, and 2 seconds into the game, 8 players got ejected.
Yes.
Oh.
So
hello,
as you're
Wanda.
listening to this, that was probably a week and a half ago. But
yes,
other than that, everything is good. We have a special recording time tonight as
you all can see.
Jamie is getting ready to go out on the high seas for some vacation time. So
yes,
we wanted to make sure that
one of the best times to go to sea is when you don't have to be working while you're out there.
Absolutely. So we wanted to make sure we got some content for you while he is gone. And boy, if all goes well, we have some content for you tonight.
Do we ever?
Or today as you're listening, because it really
yes,
depends. Whenever. As we record, it's evening time. So
yes, the beauty of playable on-demand media.
Yes. So we will have hip-hop headlines tonight.
We will.
Possibility that Woo News gets scrubbed.
Yep, possibility the whole rest of the show gets scrubbed. You never know.
Yeah, depending on what happens at after the first break of the evening, and we'll see what happens with that. But just in case, we do have Woo News in the chamber. We do have some
always a backup plan.
Some music. We have a one and done. We have a record of the week. We'll remind you who the artist of the month is. We'll do that anyway.
We will. That's your job.
And we have an old to the new that regardless of what else happens, we will definitely be sharing that with you tonight.
And for those of you live, this is for anyone who's listening in the future. If you were live, you would have been treated to a I don't know if it would be a world premiere, but it's a pre-release playing of a song.
Yes, with full, hopefully full blessing. So
Yeah, yes. Well, I hope so.
is this a podcast? I hope not. A live studio audience? Yes, of 2.
Yes.
Well, 3 if you count us, because technically we're in the studio.
We
So,
are.
No laugh track either. Rob's in the house, and of course,
Yes. So that will be when I return.
yes,
The,
we'll give that away.
The Billy Booty Hole Brown and
And
Decade of Dumbassery on the backside.
Mm-hmm.
Bottle opener.
Don't say booty hole brown and then backside, please. Don't say that. That's a Diddy thing.
Billy Booty Hole Brown.
Jamie, co-signed it.
I've got your back, man, always.
Back hugs, more Diddy.
Nope, not doing that here.
So, because of what we're anticipating later on, we should probably zip through the hip-hop headlines as quickly as we can.
Yeah.
So,
You should probably think right now we should start the show.
I think so. So, if you would be so kind, would you be adverse to giving me some Triple H, or shall I
think so.
ask properly?
No,
Would you
we're good.
Please hit me with a little of that Triple H.
Yeah, yay.
And the crowd's all coming.
This is Hip Hop Headlines. Throwback Thursday.
We'll get on it. It's your time.
It is my turn. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Rob. Hello, Cranky. Everybody who's joined
Wanda.
us so far. Wanda's in the house too. Our first article, Hip Hop DX brings us this. You have titled this "Speedy Trial," and it's so funny that you sent me this because last week I was thinking about the fact with all the other news that was going on that we hadn't heard anything about this.
No, the focus of this article and the case and has I don't want to say fled, has left the country.
Mm-hmm.
And it is performing other places.
That's that Gary Glitter shit is what that is.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
basically did the same thing.
Yeah, he did.
And did the same thing.
So Craig's asking about bits. Let me write this down to edit this out. 6 minutes. Bits. Okay, bits become bytes and bytes become megabytes. No, that's not what we're talking about here. Bits are a Twitch thing. I don't know if you guys saw recently, we have moved up in the Twitch world from nobodies who do nothing to, hey, these guys could possibly make us some money somehow. So they moved us up into their affiliate program. Bits are things that you pay money for, and then you send them to us so that we can do cool things with the show. It's kind of like being a patron, but it's on the fly for anyone who wants to donate. And if anyone who is listening can explain this better, please do, and we will move on with the show.
Yes, I'm not on Twitch more than just,
at all.
I think I've been on Twitch once. So,
but you're on Twitch right now.
I am. But I mean, I actually
Yes.
have gone on to Twitch. I have a Twitch account. I think I've used it once. So
Yeah. That's where I watch B every Thursday.
So anyway, let's get back to this
Please.
story we're talking about. Now,
Cranky trying to derail the show.
Like you said, the subject of this article has fled the country.
He has, like a while ago.
Yes. Africa Bambaataa, back in 2022, was accused of improper relationship. I think is a fair way to say it.
I believe
know
relationships. This
Yes,
just happens to be
multiple.
one of the John Does.
Sexual assaults, basically.
Yes, they were.
Africa Bambaata's alleged sexual assault victim has petitioned a Bronx court to issue a ruling about his lawsuit, which was filed 2 years ago. Actually, 3 years ago now.
3 years ago when it
initially
was filed.
in 21. The John Doe in the matter, because of course they're keeping his identity secret, has filed a letter as of March 28th to request the judge sign the order. Now, the order was first put on his desk in 2022, which was a year after the case was filed.
Right.
We're now 2 years past that.
Past the order on his desk, yeah.
Yeah. The firm represents plaintiff in the above referenced matter, the letter reads. Plaintiff filed a motion for default judgment, motion sequence number 3, against defendant Taylor, Africa Bambaataa,
Yep.
on August 1st, 2022. Plaintiff is once again respectfully inquiring as to when the court will issue a decision and order. A judge has not yet responded to the request. Now, anything with hip-hop and the legal system always seems to take forever. It took forever to find Jay's killer.
Mm-hmm.
It has taken forever for Kid Creole.
Yeah.
So, just craziness.
We need to free that dude.
Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force changed, of course, hip-hop with Planet Rock, which, and we've talked about songs that didn't sound like anything beforehand. Planet Rock was one of them.
But we know who wrote Planet Rock. Friend of the show, MC Globe.
We do.
Of the Soul Sonic Force.
As the former leader of the Universal Zulu Nation, Bambaataa helped spread hip-hop culture across the globe. But then in 2016, now, again, we were on the air in 2016, and we reported this when it happened.
He did.
Because we were in shock.
Yes, and there was a whole big restructuring within the UZN as the Amon-Ra was relieved of his duties.
Yes. Back in 2016, Bambaataa resigned from his position as the leader of the Universal Zulu Nation amid allegations of child sexual abuse dating as far back as the 1970s. Since then, Bambaataa, who is now 64 years old, has basically skedaddled from the public eye.
He is vamooshed.
In the initial suit, the John Doe claims that Bambaataa sex trafficked him from 91 to 95, beginning when he was 12 years old. At that time, Bambaataa would have been about 33 or 34. The John Doe claims that Bambaataa repeatedly sexually abused and sex trafficked him at the Bronx River Houses public housing project, where they both lived at the time. The John Doe and his lawyers also allege that Bambaataa eventually began to inappropriately touch in the complainant, John Doe.
Yes, John Doe.
In his private areas while John Doe was in Bambaataa's apartment.
Yes, he was making them public areas.
They also say he eventually encouraged John Doe to watch pornographic videos while in the apartment, which progressed to mutual masturbation and sodomy.
That's a 1, 2, 3 for your ass, literally. That's
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, not me.
I don't work for anybody, so I don't have anything to fear. I have no disclaimers. I have no bike shops.
It's bad enough that he says that this happened, with Bambaataa. They say it became sex trafficking because then Bambaataa would transport this John Doe to other locations and offer him for sex to other adult men.
Yes.
Where Bambaataa would watch as John Doe was sodomized by other adult men.
Now, this is not an article that I would normally bring back up because, this is years old and we've reported. But with everything that's going on with other people in the industry and cases, I felt that this was one of those, hey, don't forget this guy too.
And I think that's kind of what they were thinking too, which is why they filed this letter.
Yeah, because don't sweep me under the rug and focus on these women or these other grown men or, I was a kid.
12.
Yeah.
12 years old. That's not even like 12 teen. That's just 12.
That's 12.
That's fucking gross is what that is.
For a comparison, when I was 12 years old, I was in 6th grade. Just to give you frame of reference.
Yep. Me too, brother. Me too. So let's hope that this judge gets this thing. I mean, look, if everything is, and Bambaataa doesn't even want to defend himself. Like you said,
they said
he fucking
he said,
skedaddled.
I'm out. Yeah.
So that whole thing is just really, really bad.
Was it 21 skidoo?
23
32,
skidoo.
23.
South Facing is our next article.
Yes.
The Roots, De La Soul, and Far Side. Bizarre ride to the Far Side.
Indeed.
Join the South Facing Festival for a huge hip-hop event. And this comes to us from EssexMagazine.co in the UK.
It's in Nipsey Land, yes.
Nipsey Land. An incredible hip-hop lineup announced for London's critically acclaimed open-air concert series, South Facing Festival. Some of the most legendary acts in hip-hop in the past are now going to be on this. The legendary Roots crew, Jimmy, also known as Jimmy Fallon's house band.
Yeah, speaking of legendary Roots crew, as I told you last week or 2 weeks ago, they're coming here, not here, like 3 hours away from here, but where I'm willing to travel.
Some show.
It is the legendary Roots crew, Arrested Development, and Diggable Planets all on the same bill at an open air amphitheater.
That's going to be some show. Yeah, you got to go to that.
I'm trying. I got to work my schedule. It's on a Friday or Saturday, so it doesn't interfere with show.
Nope. Other than a report afterward.
Yes.
Joining
one less
Roots,
article to write.
Joining the Roots on this is De La Soul, who...
That means from the soul.
You know what? I heard that somewhere. But they hate that fucking song. And then the Far Side, of course, Bizarre Ride to the Far Side is a classic in hip-hop. Together, these three groups represent the very essence of hip-hop innovation. And that's a
I'm not going to argue with that, yeah.
That's an accurate description. Previous years have had other...
yes, other people have played this festival before, yes.
Well-known people. But I think this is the first time it's been...
so hip-hop heavy?
Yeah, this hip-hop heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, the South Facing Festival, I don't think was originally just a hip-hop show.
No.
It had, like, Noel Gallagher from Oasis in it in the past. Some other local...
And you have a twin brother?
Liam, I believe.
It's a very British name.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Oasis.
No, you either were or you were not, and I was not.
every story I ever see is like, oh yeah, we fucking hate each other, but we record because, unlike us, who don't hate each other and we record. The Simpsons did it again, man. Homer Palooza is your next article.
Now, okay, before we get started, I know a lot of people have been looking at some of these things like Piss Dookie running from the cops, the diddler and whatnot, that they were saying was also that was AI generated Simpsons. This one, though, was an actual episode.
Was an actual episode because you can find it in their archives.
Yes.
28 years after The Simpsons said it was going to happen, because that's what they do.
This one, though, was the group made it happen so they could say The Simpsons made it happen. They were like, hey, remember when this was a thing? Let's go and see if we can do that.
28 years after The Simpsons did it, Cypress Hill are finally collaborating with the London Symphony Orchestra for a real Homer Palooza.
Yes.
The episode aired in 1996.
A number.
A special episode of The Simpsons aired in which Homer grappled with the fact that he used to be with it before they changed what it was.
Yes.
Then what Homer was with wasn't it. And what's it was weird and scary to him. It was a season 7 episode. That tells you how long ago it was.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yes.
Homer Palooza was the name of the episode. The makers of The Simpsons showed Generation X that they still knew how to rock out to the sounds of an all-star special guest lineup that had the actual voices of Peter Frampton, Sonic Youth, Smashing Pumpkins, and Cypress Hill. 30 years later, Cypress Hill has brought this to life. They have announced...
Let's do that.
Well, 28 years, not 30, but
yes,
close enough.
Close enough.
Cypress Hill and the London Symphony Orchestra announced 28 years after The Simpsons joked about the two very disparate groups performing together. They're going to perform together at a one-night-only concert on July 10th at, of all places in London, the historic Royal Albert Hall.
Yes. Well, that's where the symphony orchestra would be.
Yes. Fans of classical music and classic West Coast hip-hop and classic Simpsons episode.
And classic weed.
Will have their first chance to order tickets as of today. Possibly while high.
Probably while.
Oh, man. So Cypress Hill
Maybe
said
that's what Nipsey's doing. That's why he's not here.
Maybe. We are thrilled to be performing with the London
It is very
Symphony
late
Orchestra in such a prestigious venue, said Cypress Hill. It's a dream come true, a collaboration only The Simpsons could have predicted. The Simpsons actually got, NC State played Duke the other day, right? In the Elite Eight?
Yes.
They had that one right, too. They showed Homer after he gave up alcohol sitting there, and Marge was like, you've been on such good behavior. You even behaved during the NCAA basketball tournament. And they showed him wearing a Duke shirt holding an NC State banner. I was like, the fucking Simpsons are Nostradamus.
I also saw them
Nostradamus
sitting in the stands saying, "Can we leave now?" And weren't they at a Mets game?
No, that was Family Guy.
Yes,
that
I
was
know.
Stewie Griffin. And here's the first pitch, and the season's over. And as a Mets fan, truer words have never been spoken.
Yeah, you're having a rough time this year already.
Well, it's only 4 games in, so we'll see.
For some of us, yeah.
Yeah, Homer Palooza, as is the case, there does run a risk that the headliners for the concert will alienate an older crowd who doesn't understand why a hip-hop group and an orchestra will be sharing a stage built by Queen Victoria back in 1871.
Yeah. The same, not the same orchestra, the same setup. That place I told you, Wolf Trap, where
Yes.
the Roots are playing.
Yes.
Nasir Jones with an orchestra will also be playing there.
See, there you have it. So let's think of the people who've graced the Royal Albert Hall stage. Winston Churchill,
Yes.
Albert Einstein,
Sure.
Muhammad Ali,
Nice.
Cypress Hill. I'm telling you, man, I love it. I do. I think that's going to be wild. And if I was anywhere close to it, because of the whole, Simpson said it could be done. So
Here is something you can't understand. How we can play with this band. That's how it should start.
very nice. Hot New Hip Hop brings us our next article, and you have said 11 herbs and spices.
Yes.
Are we
It is a secret recipe.
It is, yes. Professor Bun B's Trill Burgers, which we've talked about many times on this
We
show,
have.
is facing a $1 million lawsuit over an allegedly stolen recipe.
That's trouble in paradise.
2 of the restaurant's original co-founders claim they invented the OG Trill Burger. Let's see if they have the names of them. Brothers and sister. Patsy and Benson Viveris.
Rob throwing up a throwback on a throwback.
KFC grease, yes. Patsy and Benson Viveris claim they were the real minds behind the restaurant's famous burger recipe. Allegedly, they had been looking to expand the menu of their food truck, Sticky's Chicken, to include new items back in 21. This is when they say they partnered with Andy Nguyen, another co-founder of Trill Burgers, to develop an original recipe for their signature smash burger. Allegedly, once again,
Allegedly.
it was later trademarked as the Trill Burger. The Vivarises spent a lot of time and energy developing the recipe, said their lawyer, Saad Aziz.
I have a question though. If it is trademarked as the Trill Burger, is it a registered trademark, and who owns that trademark? That is a very important question.
That is a question, and I don't think there's an answer to that in here. So
There may be. Who knows?
we would have
If
to
not,
find.
we have a research department.
Yes, the OG Trill Burger. No, it doesn't say who owns the
Okay, the trademark.
They teamed up with Bun B after inventing with this thing. They say he was supposed to help promote their new menu item. Eventually, he acted as the face of the iconic Trill Burger at pop-ups and beyond. They used earnings from the pop-ups to pay off debts at Sticky's Chicken, which was suffering due to their focus on the new Trill Burger's endeavor.
Okay, so we want to save our chicken truck,
By making a burger.
and then we're going to abandon our duties at our chicken truck that we're trying to save by focusing on a hamburger somewhere else.
So the Vivaris people
Yes.
insisted that all partners were aware that Trill Burger's earnings would be used to pay off their debts.
Okay.
They were later sued and accused of stealing $45,000
From
after
Bun B and his people?
Yes, because Bun B opened the permanent Trill Burgers location without them.
Okay.
So
But they stole. So is it because he opened a business, they were still involved? They took money because they're saying, we said in the beginning it would be to save our chicken shack. And Bun B's people are saying, no, that's not how it works.
yeah, apparently so.
Okay.
Because
I just want to untangle some of that William M. Winters Esquire speak.
yeah, please. This is way, 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 way above my pay grade, dude.
I know you only deal with hockey and hip hop related injuries. I got
Like the Rangers and Devils bringing the motherfucking ruckus
Yes,
tonight.
indeed.
There
See,
you go. See,
chase that ambulance.
if we if we find and chase that Zamboni.
That's right.
If we find out anything more about this suit, we will let you know.
Stop the pigeon.
Because stop that pigeon, stop that pigeon. Change my hat, and then I got the answers.
Yes.
You know
Bill
what?
does not have these answers.
I would need a Scully hat or something like that. One of them, the Peaky Blinders Scally hats, I think.
I believe you're wearing a Kangol in your advertising photo.
Yes, but I believe I borrowed that.
Yes, it's right over here on my shelf. It's on my
Because
table here.
it's yours.
I'm taking it with me on the cruise, by the way.
Of course you are. Why
They're
wouldn't
having
you?
an 80s night.
Well, there you have it.
I have Adidas black track pants.
Are you gonna bring a? Are you gonna find like a fake gold
I have
Dookie
one.
chain?
I have one.
Nice.
I'll send you a picture of it later because I forgot to bring it down here. But yes, I have that. I have my Kangol. I have my tracksuit. I have my
You can take all the
50th
laces
anniversary.
out of your Adidas
I have brand new, never before worn the
shelters.
the anniversary edition of the DMCs.
Mm-hmm.
I have those.
You're gonna put the fat laces in them, or
I have there. It comes with two pair, one red and one white.
yeah?
But right now it has none in it. I'm gonna have to see how they fit. I'm taking them out of the box. I've had them for like a year.
Okay. Just waiting for the right time.
I'm
man.
and I
Just
think I
waiting
may
for the
wear a
right
Mr. Throwback Thursday T-shirt to go with it.
time. Of course. Next article: 34 years of travels.
Yes, 34 years is not a anniversary that we normally recognize, but we're going with this one.
Today in hip hop history, a Tribe Called Quest dropped their debut album. It says 33 years ago, but
I
don't
know.
It's
Because
they
you don't read the fucking show notes when I send them to you,
Yeah,
for where
they-
you could have read it ahead of time and gone, oh, this was last year's article, but this is the same date that's coming up now,
Yes.
so I
Yeah.
can adjust on the fly.
Yeah, I noticed the article date on here, and I thought it was a misprint at first because
It is
we
not.
get those. We get those every now and then. If you remember, last week we had one that said Saturday's date was Sunday. Remember?
Yes.
So
I do my job, man. Do yours.
they don't do theirs sometimes.
No,
'cause
they do not. They do
Saturday's date was not Sunday. Saturday's date was Saturday. We don't live in
Yesterday's
this
price is not
inception.
today's price.
Yesterday's date is not today's date. That's right. So 34 years. one of our favorite records, actually.
Yes.
And this was, again, we talked about it with Planet Rock. This was another one of those records where the first time you heard it, you're like, I've never heard anything like this.
Yeah. And this is for those of you who may just be strange, uneducated. We haven't taught you enough yet. Every time Bill says, anyway, and I say
we passed.
a gas station we passed,
It came from
this album, Left My Wallet in El Segundo track. Yes.
which we talked about 2 weeks ago on the show. So, and Ali paid for lunch. And
Indeed. No, he told Chip pay for lunch.
He told Chip to pay for lunch.
Yes.
And he had the fruit.
It's okay, Tip. Pay for lunch. So I did it.
Ali had the fruit punch.
That's right.
Because Tip ordered enchiladas and he ate them.
Indeed.
Well, what else was he going to do with them?
You
Really?
don't order them and just leave them there.
Throw them at somebody? We would have done that.
Yes.
We used to. What the hell did we used to throw at the road
At
signs?
the sign.
The ring dings or something? What the hell
Something.
did we used to
I'll remember. I remember throwing them at the sign though.
We were dumb. Dumb diddy dum, which is
Yes.
another throwback to last week. Yes, this record, People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm.
Yes,
If
which
you
was
wanna get the
almost
entire
100% a Q-Tip album.
Pretty much was 100% a Q-Tip album. I don't think Fife had more than 2 lines on this entire thing.
It wasn't until Low End Theory that I was like, who's this guy?
Yeah, and then he told you who he was.
He was.
Microphone check 1 2. What is this? Yes, I Left My Wallet in El Segundo. There's other great songs on there. Bonita Applebum was on this album.
You got to put me on.
I mean, great record. Can I Kick It was on there. Of course, that's
Yes,
the
You
record
Can.
they don't make any money off of because
Right.
Lou Reed makes all the money off of that.
But that single pushed people to buy that album, and they did
It
get paid
sure
for that.
did. Absolutely. Yeah. They got paid for the album. But I would say it was probably a well-calculated risk. Look, we're not going to make any money off the single, but we'll make money off the record. I'm surprised Lou Reed's people didn't ask. You think maybe they got a cut of every album that was sold?
Well, they would have to because the songs on the album.
Well, how many songs were on the album?
Hold on. 1990, Tribe Called Quest, 17 songs. And it is Push It Along, Lucky Lucian, After Hours, Footprints was an excellent song.
Lucian.
Left My Wallet in El Segundo, Public Enemy, Bonita Applebum, with the Can I Kick It intro. Can I Kick It?
Well, if there's 17 tracks on there, Lou Reed should get 1/17 of the profits from every record. So
do you know that there's a Pharrell Williams remix of Bonita Applebum on the Spotify version?
I do now.
Yeah. Anyway,
Pharrell
Gas
being
Station
from
We
your
Passed.
part of the woods.
yes, and he's currently in a fight with Chad Hugo over the name the Neptunes, but that's news for another time.
You and I talked about that offline.
UNITY.
Because you sent that to me, and I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
going to get dirty.
Yeah.
But yeah, 34 years now for this record. Next year will be an anniversary worth noticing. 35 is a number.
It is.
You
But
know,
you'll say it was 33 again, so I'll send you the same article.
no, I will remember because I will remember seeing this and going, oh, yes. I'm not going to make that same mistake 2 years in a row.
And for those of you live, 32 live. For those of you live, the reason that this article is from last year is because we're recording this episode for a future time.
Mm-hmm.
And this still is going to happen at the same time. It's just the article isn't out yet.
Right. The Days of Future Past. How's that sound? That
sound like an X-Men movie.
Wasn't that I want to say that was a Moody Blues album.
It could have been,
Might have been the album that had Nights in White Satin on it.
which is a song that they did. And
Yes.
people know that song.
I love Nights in White Satin. It's actually one of my karaoke songs. I haven't done it in a long time. But I think that was. I'm gonna have to look it up on the break, by the way,
You can do that.
because then that drives me.
I don't know. You may not have time on the break if we have
Yeah, depending.
our visitor.
So congratulations on 34 years of travels
Yes.
and, ordering enchiladas and eating them. Bill likes a lot of rock songs.
Yes, he
Rob.
does.
I just don't like the same bands that you do.
They're
on a
like British
consistent basis.
hard rock.
Although you did get me into Molly Hatchet when we were younger.
Mm-hmm. That's Southern
And-
rock. Yep.
And Jethro Tull is
Mm-hmm.
British rock with folk and everything else in it.
And everything. Yes.
All right, next article. Always working.
Yes, I am.
Sounds like you.
I have no job, but I'm always working.
And this comes to us from Ambrosia for Heads,
Like school on
And-
Sunday.
which actually doesn't exist, remember?
It doesn't.
Let me answer this question really quick.
I didn't ask you one.
No, but the important person in the other room did. So,
Cranky?
no, the wife.
Oh,
You know how that is. You have one of those too, and you have
I
to
do.
answer to it too. Ambrosia for Heads. Redman's new verse. Just in case anybody forgot, he's still a fucking storyteller, man.
yes. I saw a thing the other day. Somebody was talking about everybody in hip hop has lied except for Reggie Noble. And they showed him on Cribs.
Yes.
And they talked about everybody who got in trouble on
Mhm.
Cribs because they rented a house or they borrowed a house or
Yeah.
whatever and said it was theirs. And some people
Not
got
Reggie.
sued. Nope. Redman told you from day one. This we got to hook up the doorbell. The wires got to be twisted back together. We got, it was.
This is where I live, though.
Yeah. When we went to see him, when we went to the Wu-Tang
Mhm.
25th, we went there and Reggie was talking about, and he said, "Hey, and y'all remember when you watched Cribs and was it his cousin that was sleeping on the floor and he
Mhm.
was there with him on stage?"
Yep. So it's been 8 years since Reggie's dropped a Redman album.
Yes, he's been working and
But
putting
I was
stuff
gonna
out.
say, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been busy
no,
because he's fucking Redman. So
I mean,
Reggie-
we've played singles on here.
about 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
In 23, the Def Squad MC showered fans with a series of great video freestyles to top-notch beats. He also
Lock, rock, and beats.
He paid a Def Jam Records homage to a Slick Rick catalog classic and put in work with Logic on College Park, dropping a very revealing verse alongside Static Selecta and Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane.
I knew you'd like that part.
Seth MacFarlane's very talented, dude. These
Well, you
were
would have
just
to be.
3 examples from Redman, who is just ridiculously talented.
Yes.
So this year, Reggie has linked with Potato Head People, which is a production crew out of Montreal. Although it probably should be in French, but I don't know.
What
French or
potato head people?
For a crispy new single. The name of the single is Last Night.
Isn't that a Kid and Play song?
Yes, but not now.
No.
Last Night sounds like something that heads may have heard from a Native Tongues act in the middle 90s. Nick Wisdom and Astrological create a mellow backdrop that allows Redman to tell a semi-sordid story.
Sound like two Cool Keith alternate personalities there. It's,
It really does, yes. Yeah, Last Night, Potato Head People with Redman and Kapak. Oh my God, this
Doesn't he play for the Rangers?
Listen to this first line. Last night, I had an episode. I was all in my girl's skin like an epidural.
That is a Reggie Noble lyric.
That is a
That
Reggie
is-
Noble lyric. So,
I like his more simple things like Suckers Break, like Turbo and Ozone. But,
now he's also, it's been said he's working on Muddy Waters too. But
I've
we've
heard
been
that.
talking about that for about 4 years now, which is a sequel to the
Muddy Waters.
1996 record. I think that's when Muddy Waters came out. In 96, I think.
Could be.
Him and Meth are also working on Blackout 3.
Blackout 3, yeah.
Eric Sermon teamed with Salt and Peppa for a new song from his upcoming Dynamic Duos album. I wouldn't be surprised if Red jumped on that.
Yeah.
But this song, Last Night, issued by Bastard Jazz, the Brooklyn, New York-based label that has long worked with Jay Dilla's brother, Illa J, as well as some other people. But it's Reggie, man.
Yeah.
And
we're
the song,
contractually obligated to play his music.
because he is a hot topic.
Damn straight.
And he says so. If you have a Spotify account and you go to the
I do.
AFH playlist, it is now song number 6 on that playlist. So
Nice.
you can listen to it if you like. You don't need to twist my arm to listen to anything from Reggie now. So
No.
because he is a hot topic Nickelback.
Yeah, I mean, when he was putting out all those little, like, I don't want to say like Cool Kim. I don't want to compare him to Cool Kim and his 1 minute takedown because that's Kim's thing.
Mm-hmm.
But where he was doing the Jack Boy beats
Yes.
and he was just dropping those on Instagram and whatnot, I'm waiting for that album.
Those things were really cool too.
Oh, also go over to, is it Bandcamp? Where Cool Kim has his 1 minute takedown album. Well, I call it an album. It's a compilation.
Yeah.
I think that's where it is.
Next article comes to us from All Hip Hop and the distinguished gentleman from the state of Florida. How's that? If you thought of anybody in hip hop that you think could make a good congressman,
I mean, look, Do It All's run for council. I think city council. Scarface is run for office.
mm-hmm.
Why not this guy?
Because it's just not the one that I was thinking of. When I think of all the people in hip hop, I think,
Chuck D,
Chuck, Common,
Chris.
Chris to a certain extent. Chris gets a little hyped.
Well, yeah, but you kind of need that.
Uncle Luke never crosses my mind as to who could make a good politician. And that's probably
You'd be balancing the budget, talking about what do we get for $10. I don't know.
That's probably a little bit of a myopic view on my part. Luke is a very good businessman.
Oh, hell yes.
Luke took on the fucking government
Mm-hmm.
and won.
And won, yes.
So, I mean, he is what he is. He's goofy and he's silly, but he's not stupid.
And he leaves Piss Dookie's parties early.
Because he's a smart man.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob.
Luther Campbell, Uncle Luke, considering running for office in his home state of Florida, in the 20th Congressional District of Florida.
Running on the Fuck Martinez campaign.
More like fuck Matt Gaetz.
Yes.
That's who he's targeting.
That's who he's after, yeah.
He envisions clashing with Gaetz and Trump and other members of the Republican Party in a potential congressional bid. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the tweets or the truth social truths that will come out? Matt Gaetz is facing a very serious challenge from the very unfair Luther Campbell.
I tell you, Matt Gaetz, for those of you who watch Saturday Night Live, Matt Gaetz looked like Colin Jost ate Colin Jost.
That's funny. So Luke comes out. He goes, I'm living my ideal. I have the opportunity to bring something back to the community, and I get to fight these motherfuckers, Matt Gaetz, Donald Trump, and all these crazy-ass Republicans who want to divide us, he says. Uncle Luke established a political committee called Don't Stop, Get It in January with eyes on the Democratic primary.
Doo-doo Brown.
If the 63-year-old Luke runs for office, he'll face off against the incumbent Democratic rep Sheila Cherfilus McCormick in August. He says, I'm going to be as nasty as I want to be.
I'm very close to hearing, Biden is the president, but I voted for Uncle Luke. I voted for Luther Campbell.
The primary is scheduled for August 20th. He has to decide on entering
Wu-Tang?
before April 26th, which is the filing deadline for candidates in the state of Florida.
Yes.
So, his congressional bid would not be his first foray into politics, apparently. He ran for Miami-Dade County mayor in 2011. He finished in fourth place with 11% of the vote.
Hey.
His older brother, Stanley, already entered the 2024 race in Florida. Stanley is running for the U.S. Senate, facing former Democratic Representative Debbie Mucarsel-Powell in the primary. Everybody got to have three names?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It's a Disney thing.
The winner will try to defeat Republican Senator Rick Scott in the general election in November.
I blame the cast of what was Tim's show?
Freaknik.
No, Tool Time. What was that
Yes.
show?
Oh, Home Improvement.
Yes, I blame the cast of that show for the three-name thing.
Oh, because they all had it.
Mm-hmm.
All the kids did anyway.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor Disney or whatever his name was.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Zachary Ty Bryan, and Taryn Noah Smith.
There you go.
Why I know that, I have no idea, other than the fact that I just saw an article that Tim Allen wants to do some kind of follow-up from that show, you know, basing it on the kids. And Patricia Richardson, the one who played the mother, basically came out and said, we can't do that. Zach's a felon.
Well, write that into the story.
Yeah, the oldest brother is in jail. And Jonathan Taylor Thomas has no interest in acting anymore. He's directing and producing and stuff like that. And he's 42. Whatever.
You know way too much about these three-name kids.
I just want to know how could they possibly
gonna
do
go
a
my
Home
way?
Improvement spinoff when Wilson passed away a few years ago?
Yeah.
You can't have that show without Wilson. And I don't mean the volleyball either.
No. It's a whole nother show.
So, Uncle Luke's political aspirations surfaced 1 week after his documentary Freaknik, The Wildest Party Never Told, premiered on Hulu. He's one of the documentary's executive producers, along with 21 Savage and Jermaine Dupri. Luke's
Nothing
crazy.
says Atlanta like Jermaine Dupri.
Luke's crazy, but he's crazy enough to fucking win that, you know?
Yeah.
He is.
No, I would
crazy
love to
enough-
see that. I mean, you know, he's headstrong. He's not talking about stupid shit. I mean, he did that in the 80s. He's the guy that they need. I don't even care what party he runs. I don't care if he's an independent, if he's a Dem. I don't care.
He's running on the Don't Stop Kidding
Yes, he is.
party. Doodle Brown. Oh, God. That's just terrible. Yes, Bill saw that movie with Wilson the volleyball. It was Castaway.
Yes.
It was Tom Hanks. I've seen pretty much every Tom Hanks movie there is. Didn't like all of them, but I do like Tom Hanks. The next article.
I heard he makes coffee.
Yes, he does. Prison Love.
I don't know what you're. This is a Billy Booty Hole Brown comment here. I don't know what
you-
you're talking about.
You should have subtitled this one. Don't you do what I do. Suge Knight has said...
The man who released pictures of Tupac in the shower for Valentine's Day
Yes.
is giving advice.
Is giving advice about living in prison.
Yeah. A night in prison, I'm telling you, missed opportunity.
Suge Knight sends a cryptic warning to Piss Dookie from prison after all the raids of his homes.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this week, late last week technically, two of Diddy's
Yes.
mansions were raided by Homeland Security.
Yes.
Not raided by some local SWAT team.
No.
Department of Homeland Security.
Yes.
As part of a federal human trafficking investigation. He has not yet been charged, but his fans are concerned more than ever. And critics, of course, like us, I wouldn't say I'm over the moon, but I understand. Amid
Cranky
all-
said it's a good deal being in
Yeah,
prison.
yeah. 3 hots in a cot, you know. All the sex you can want.
All the sex
That's
you don't
the
want.
problem. Most of the ones who get the sex don't want it.
No.
Amid all of the chatter surrounding the raids, the beacon of morality known as Marion Suge Knight
Host of the Not a Night in Prison.
Should have been, though. Suge shared his reaction to this debacle on his prison podcast, Collect Call with Suge Knight.
That's the one.
It did not make the final cut, but TMZ, because they get a hold of everything,
They do.
got a hold of the
What do we get for
commentary,
$10? Yeah.
and he seemingly believes that Diddy is going to end up behind bars. I think we all kind of assume that that is going to be the case.
Yeah. He's wishing he was dancing all up in the videos now.
Knight
Both of
started
them.
out by stating that his prayers are with Diddy and his family,
But
especially his sons Justin and King, who were detained but not arrested during the raids.
I'm so glad you understand.
He then went and gave a warning to Diddy about serving time, which only a man who is in prison can do.
Yes, I cannot give you advice on going to prison.
Marion
I was in a brig in the military for 3 months, but
It's a bad day for hip hop, for the culture, for black people, says Suge. Because when one looked bad, we all look bad. Didn't seem to have that attitude when he was running over people.
no, because he couldn't see. So it didn't matter how it looked.
There's a difference between seeing and looking. You can hear Jimmy, but you can't
Yes.
listen to Jimmy. Or you can listen to Jimmy, but you can't hear Jimmy. Hey, Lion.
What's up, Lion?
So Suge says there's definitely nothing to cheer about. I'll tell you what, Piss Dookie, your life is in danger. You know they're going to get you if they can.
Love's gonna get you. Oh, no.
Encouraging him to turn himself in. He
Brother
also
Love's gonna
advised-
get you.
He also advised Diddy not to use the term brother love during any type of prison stay, claiming that it'll give the other inmates the wrong idea.
Run around like Bruce Pritchard.
I love you. Diddy's not the only one who could be facing legal consequences on this. In
African Man
Rodney,
bottle? Oh, different article.
in the lawsuit against him, he also listed Young Miami, accusing her of trafficking pink cocaine. Was it in plastic bags?
Wait,
Getting
is that a
crushed by
person?
buildings?
Is that a thing?
I'm not
Pink
sure.
cocaine could be some new school rapper that I don't know. I don't know.
For her, she was doing this for her non-exclusive boyfriend.
Okay.
If I'm trafficking pink cocaine, whatever that is, you better put a ring on it. God damn it!
It's the new Kanye album.
Sources have claimed she has a rock solid alibi. She was being fitted for her Met Gala gown when Lil Rod accused her of standing in for Diddy's alleged drug mule. Dude, this is just crazy.
I think there was some tie-in to like 50 Cent too with her.
They tried to, and 50 was like, "Fuck you." It had
Yeah.
something to do with, and then
His
there's
ex-
something about Diddy's or 50's kids and all that. I mean, it's just getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
But we'll find out when maybe 3 years when the
Maybe we
letter
will.
arrives on the judge's desk.
I don't know. I think they want to act on this one.
I think they do too.
Yeah.
And
Epstein
now,
Part 2.
new school news.
Because this is a thing that we do.
Azalea Banks, because we haven't talked about that train wreck in forever. Azalea Banks tells Beyonce to retire after she fell asleep listening to Cowboy Carter.
And once again, that's enough of that shit. Let us move on.
We are going to move on. We are going to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we are scheduled to have a very special guest. You only can find out if you come back to Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 532. Coming right back at you.
Yay.
You know the Rangers are losing now?
They were up 2-0 when we started the show.
They're losing 3-2.
Let me find my
They gave up 3 in the second period, apparently.
Special presentation music. Would you believe it says it's a remastered version? Very strange, very strange. I did tell Daddy-O he's coming in hot. You know, I like to explain that to people so they're not like, what the fuck? You just throwing me to the wolves like this? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I want a parlay.
I'm so glad I didn't put money on this Ranger.
I didn't put money on that one. I want a baseball parlay, $39.32.
Look at you. I know you didn't get anything from the Mets on it. Hello, Ken.
No, fucking Mets killed me. They were the only thing that I lost on that.
I know. They fucking killed me the other day, too.
I have more drinks here and I know what to do with. I've got my Celsius. I got my Death Wish. And I got my Diplomatico Ambassador.
I had coffee, but I finished it.
I always got coffee. I was just saying to Alex before I came down here. I said, this is our 353rd episode.
Something like that.
Because this is 352, but we have a future episode.
532.
That's what I meant. 532. So I said 532 episodes of our show plus
all coffee,
plus all my guest spots on other people's and blah blah blah.
And you've had coffee for every one of them.
I have. Hold on, I need to find. Lion, if you're paying attention, I'll send it to you on Facebook. Okay. What is lost and found energy, Rob? I like energy drinks.
I don't.
I drink sugar-free ones, not because.
Oh, I had a sugar-free C4 for the first time the other day.
Mm-hmm.
No. No.
C4 is very, very. You have to pick the right flavor, otherwise it can be very bad.
It was.
Look, Lion, you've only wanted to be on once.
And
Rob talking about C4 grape. If he's talking about the grape popsicle one, yes, I 100% agree.
Was today Prince Paul's birthday? Did we
No,
put
yesterday.
That up today or was yesterday? I know we.
Yeah,
put it up.
I was busy today and I did not get anything on today.
Mm-hmm.
What is today, the 3rd?
Lion, why are you bringing up old shit? We're just talking about what you mentioned.
Yeah. It is. Why are we talking about old shit? That's what we do here. That's what the whole show is based on.
It kind of is, yes.
Some people don't like the way that Sally walk. Let's see. What else we have going on here? So I have multiple conversations happening on multiple platforms. I apologize for not paying attention to you guys.
You're a very popular guy.
Well, right now I am, yes. Because things are taking place.
Things is happening.
Yes.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Or what's the buzz? I watched that this weekend.
Did you know?
I did. You know what is funny? I had never actually seen the full movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then I finally sat down and watched the whole movie.
There's a lot of that with you, though. You've seen parts of movies, or
I see a lot of bits and pieces of
Yeah.
movies. Yes. Yeah.
Cranky's probably going to get me in trouble by asking me to bring up a picture because of who's in it with him. But we're not going to talk about Ruquan. So, the thing that I told you that might be happening,
Mm-hmm. In regards to collaboration,
yes,
yes.
I was talking to Pumice, saying that if this does become a thing,
Mm-hmm.
the phraseology
Yes.
that is in the existing artwork
Yes.
may be changed to
I say I just saw something in the private chat come across.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's there.
that.
Oh. Well, that would be true.
It would be. I think I like that. He's going to work something up while I'm gone
Mm-hmm.
as a possibly modified. Everybody else is going, what the fuck are they talking about? Sorry. When I can say, I will say. If I can say, I will say.
This guy say can't spill the beans,
No. No.
even though it. You know, we always talk about coffee on this show, but
We do.
can't spill the beans. Ha! See what I did there?
But I think that would be a cool way to go with that. Been a while. Tell you, Cranky, if you get me in trouble for this picture, we're gonna have words. I remembered it, even though you didn't remind me to remember it. Yes, you have no idea. It's okay.
I never have any.
I see you going, what the fuck is he talking about?
I figured I'd, it's need to know basis.
No, it's Cranky has a question in mind and it needed a visual aid.
Ah,
So he asked me to have the visual aid ready if he got to ask the question. So I
sounds
have it.
good.
That's what a good producer does.
Ha.
Yeah, I don't take that money. That money goes directly into show costs,
Yes,
of which we have quite a bit.
we have lately.
Yeah, between Spotify, the website.
My microphone shit in the bed.
Well, yep. Adobe for Audition for
Mm-hmm.
and for Photoshop, and it's all combined. But yeah, no, we don't use money unless it's show stuff. We may stretch the meaning of show stuff once in a while, but it all goes toward content for you. StreamYard's not free either, sadly.
No, unfortunately.
But I enjoy
No.
having it, so.
It's better than the alternative of what we used to use.
Yes. We go back and you look through some stuff.
Fucking
In the
Skype was
past.
terrible.
Skype was awful. I mean,
Yeah.
it did what it needed to do.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody even uses Skype anymore.
I don't think it exists anymore.
I don't think so either.
You know that's a lie. Ah, very good question.
Nope, Skype still exists.
Sarah wants to know, when are we doing Fresh Flicks next?
What do we say? Near the end of the month?
Yeah.
After you get back from your
Do you want to do
cruise, of course.
I'll ask you, do you want to do a Thursday night or a Friday night?
Probably a Thursday.
Okay, so we're going to do tentatively Thursday the 25th. Put it on the board.
Put it on the board. Yes.
Check your schedule. And then we'll write it into the show notes.
Let me look on my calendar. I don't think I have anything that night. Because hockey
Yeah,
season
and I'll write it in the
pretty
book.
much over.
Thursday, 25th. FF. It's in the notebook.
Oh, if it's in the notebook now.
And Sarah's got it on the board, so.
She put it on the board. Yes. Are they letting the kids out early down by you on Monday for this eclipse?
I won't be here, and my kids aren't in school. All right. Looks like we need to get rid of the special presentation music and bring up the Woo News intro and a drop.
Okay.
Everything is subject to change
Yes.
as we go along. There could be an abrupt stop.
Okay. So we will do that.
Yes. Lion's gonna do what he can do. And
If it doesn't happen tonight, it doesn't
Yeah,
happen tonight.
that's
We'll do
the
it
thing.
another time, that's all.
yep, no. Lion, if you're still listening over on this end, if it's a no-go, it's a no-go. I will be back on the 22nd to record.
Mm-hmm.
If that works that night. If not, we are every Sunday morning
Pretty
after
much.
that. Yeah. So the next show recording is the 22nd of April because I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. And that will be a night show like this one. And then the other shows will be Sunday mornings. We start at 9. So we would have him on at 10. So we'll come over here and I'll find a quick drop. Where are my drops? In the folder it says drops, which is a good place to store your drops.
Drops?
Indeed. Drops of music.
Drops of Jupiter?
No. I do not ride that train. My train goes like this.
Ha. That's kind of funny.
Lion, I do want you to tell him, though, that I have this on. All right. How about we do...
I like Train. I think
Yes.
they're very good compared to some of the other ones I've heard.
They are from that era of music where everybody wanted to sound the same. And I don't like that.
But not everybody did, and that was
No,
the worst
but they
part.
all tried, and that was the worst part. Like, ooh, I want to sound like that guy, which is why I don't like hip hop today.
I
How
actually like
about-
early Train. I like things like Meet Virginia. I thought that was a good song. Which, living where you live,
Yeah. Somebody that played that song for me before I moved here. How about we do this one? 'Cause I haven't played this one in a long time, and this is actually one of my favorites for multiple reasons.
your call, man.
Okay, player. Let us bring in this woo with a
Let's
shri.
move on.
Woo's your mama?
Where's the beat?
What's the deal, everybody? It's the coolest legend there is. The cool, the DJ, the red alert, everybody. I'm hanging out with the J and the B. You heard what I said? The J and the B. I'm talking about Jamie and Bill on the Mr. Throwback Thursday.
DJ better nerd, go berserk.
1 2 1 2 1 2. What's good, yo? This is Ghostface, straight from Staten Island, New York. And right about now, it's time for Woo News with Jamie and Bill. I know what it is. Get it correct. Mr. Throwback Thursdays. Jamie and Bill. You know what I mean? On Woo News. That's what's going down right now. Y'all check this out. Exclusive. Peace.
The RZA, the Jizza, Rake One, Master Killer, Inspector Jack, You God, Method Man, Ghostface Killer, and old dirty bastard.
It's now time for Woo News with Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Shimmy on it.
Welcome back, Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 532, and we are coming in hot with some Woo News.
Yes.
As things are subject to change.
Yes,
You know?
the show is like water. We are fluid.
Okay. I thought it meant that it would get me up in the middle of the night because
It will also do that, depending on what you say here and what you're thinking later and what you think you should have disclaimed.
But anyway,
Plus, Bill
Woo
Reed's lyrics will
News.
give you nightmares. So
It does to me on a weekly basis. 2 pieces of Woo News this week. First one is called The Return.
yes, the Last Dragon, Balls of Fire.
Hot new hip hop reporting on September 27 and 28. Wu-Tang Clan is coming back to Las Vegas.
Yes,
With 2 additional shows from their residency since they just finished it, as we reported last week.
Mm-hmm.
The shows are going to go down, as I said, September 27 and 28 at the theater at Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas. Thankfully, it's not the Tropicana because that closed for good today.
Yes, they're dropping it. Yeah.
So, according to Hip Hop DX, they went on to Instagram to announce it today, actually. You brought the ruckus this weekend, Vegas. Let's do it all again September 27 and 28. The saga continues. Las Vegas residency, the theater at Virgin Hotels will continue to be our home. Get there early to get the full experience. So
He said, "Get on it. It's your time."
it's your turn, yes. So congratulations to the Woo. Tickets for these 2 shows will be on sale at axs.com. You can go to the show notes, find this article. It's a big, long website for the tickets, but Wu-Tang also provided a code to use at checkout. So
Nice.
And that would be CREAM.
No way.
Yes. So congratulations to the Woo. They've earned it.
Yes. Yeah, they said the first hip hop group to have residency. It went well. They've got extra dates. And, as we reported last week, who knows who's going to show up?
You never know with them.
No, they brought out Reggie right in the middle of the show.
Next article of Woo News, Feature. When I see it stylized like that, I know
I made sure to fix it.
HipHopDX.com brings us this. Havoc, Rascass, friend of the show, Rascass.
Yes.
And RJ Payne join forces as Gutter, Tap, Clifford Smith Jr., professionally known as, and Fame of MOP.
MOP, yes.
Get together for
Fizzy
their
Womack.
debut single. Yes. The name of the supergroup is Gutter, Guttr.
Yes.
Their debut single is called Roll Call. Meth is a guest on their debut single. It's Havoc, Rascass, and RJ Payne. The Gutter is a trio between those 3. Havoc handles all of the production on the group's debut album, which is Everything Is. It just recently dropped on March 29th. The first single off of the album is Roll Call, which features narration from Sway Calloway. And Rascass says, Havoc being on board to set the musical canvas, has been the opportunity of a lifetime. In addition to Meth and Fame, the 8-song album also includes appearances from Raekwon the Chef, as well as some other guys, but it's Woo News, so we really only care about Method Man and Raekwon the Chef. Havoc has been quite busy lately. He says that in addition to this project, a new Mobb Deep album with posthumous vocals from Prodigy is in the works.
Oh, nice.
And that he's also recording a project with Clifford Smith Jr., professionally known as. So that would be good, too. He goes, I'm always working, constantly working. I got a joint with Meth coming out soon. It's an album. Yeah, I produced the whole album, but he didn't give any more details about it. So Mobb Deep, you know what you're going to get when you get a Mobb Deep album. So I'm anxious.
And you're looking at Mobb Deep, MOP, and Woo.
That's a whole lot of anger.
Yes.
And Jamie says I'm blurry. I thought it was just my glasses. So
could have been mine too. Who knows?
Hopefully that's better.
Yes.
So I'm anxious to hear this whole thing. I will look for this Gutter record now that I know it's out, so I can give it a listen.
It may make it to the show when I get back.
Maybe. You never know. You God, still not very good.
Some things don't change around here.
Not a story, really. That's just facts. And ODB has still not returned from the dead. This past weekend was Easter. There were people who rose from the dead. If you read certain stories. ODB was not one of them.
He was not one. Maybe next year.
Maybe. It is time for some music.
Yes.
It's a good thing we did not get rid of any of the music for this week. So
always come prepared, man.
You never know.
You don't.
The one and done will start us off for episode 532, and it is a record that was released in 2021.
It was.
It doesn't say what. Oh, yes, it does. Selecto Hits Records is the label on it.
Yes, but based on the title,
it sounds like it sounds like an EPMD record.
Yes.
But based on the title, it sounds like it was originally made in 1987 and just held in a vault somewhere.
It does seem, based on my research, that a lot of stuff. Okay, this is a one and done, but it's got like 3 albums now, 3 mixtapes before this that were not released or not on label or whatever. So I don't count those. And then there's a 1988 EP, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the date I saw on there.
And then there's this, which is all of that.
And then some.
Right. So we're going with this is 1987 music released in 2020. Like one from the vault.
This is from DJ Spanish Fly. And it's called Unfinished Business 1987.
A number.
Released on vinyl, so it's a double album on vinyl. So I have 4, 8, 11, 14 tracks on this.
As do I.
So track number 1, there's no intro on here. John's going to be very upset.
Yes.
Track number 1, or A1, if you're on side A of record 1, Cement Shoes.
That's what I have for track 2, but we're going with it.
Oh, what do you have for 1?
I have Servin.
Servin?
Servin.
I have that as track D1. So that's the first off of the
second side of second album.
Side of the second album. So you know what? I'm going to go with yours, and we're going to go with Servin.
Okay, player.
And it's 13,000
You are now about to witness the strength of real players. Memphis players, and they serving shit. The Moore Garden players, and they serving shit. South Park players, and they serving shit.
Are they serving shit?
They are. That's what they do out there in Memphis. It does.
Yeah.
I know. A lot of you thought, is this dude out of Miami? No, this is Midwest.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Track number 2 is Cement Shoes.
It is. It's Friday the 13th? Yes, Cranky, I know it's Mid-South. But anything left of me, it's Midwest. Or full-on West. Anything below me is South.
That track had 1 million listens. It's the only thing on here that did.
Maybe people go to sleep to it.
Maybe. Track number 3, All Right.
Now this be the damn music that you homies start to using it. Keep living the taste of Spanish fly. You know I got to be legit. Riding on a full tank, trying to keep a steady bank.
I was reading somewhere it said that he inspired funk music. Phonk.
Funk.
Yes.
Funky. Track number 4.
Yep.
And I'm not sure how I'm going to announce. Yeah, I guess it's just A, B,
I'm
C,
gonna
D,
say
E, F, G.
That's what I'm saying.
Because there was, on an old Sesame Street album I had, where it was the entire alphabet spelled out.
Mm-hmm.
And the chorus of it went Abkadefki Jekyll Monopquirk Stuvwixes.
Gotcha. This is not that.
That was Big Bird singing that. He said it was the most incredible word he ever saw. No, this is just A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Me. Don't fuck with 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 me. Don't.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice. Don't fuck with him.
I would think not. Let me go back to your listing and see what was next. Dope Game. That was after this on mine too.
Good.
Dope Game.
Motherfucker, kiss my ass, blowing you bitches back in the past, making a quick stain, then I make a dash. Cadillac the raw sales, nigga, you know this shit for real. 380 bit me still rolling around, ready to chill.
Why does this record sound like it was recorded on Suge Knight's From the Prison Phone Call podcast? Doesn't it?
It kind of does.
It's got a weird thing to it. Next track on here, Getting Over.
Getting over by slanging cane. Young brother 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 getting over by
slanging cane.
That's so funny. Do you have? Let me see what you have next. Yes, I guess it's Nickelback.
Probably.
Because it's an exclamation point with the @ sign at the end. N ! CC @
Yes.
I'm done Nickelback.
Another hard ass jam coming into your house. DJ Spanish Fly. Who's that nigga? Who's that nigga from the south? Be kicking it in my hood. Be up to no good. Be drinking on some bud. Be getting real good. Now check it out. Check it out. The bitchy.
The bitchy.
The bitchy boo. Track number 8. Once Upon a Time.
Meanwhile.
Nasty bitch. Nasty bitch. Nasty bitch. Nasty bitch.
Once upon a time, there was a nasty bitch.
That's what I hear. You nasty, baby.
Track number 9, Trigger Rap.
Bring me his son. On your way back, 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 bring me his son.
So like, I'm going to the store. You need anything? Yeah, on your way back, bring me his son.
Funny. Track number 10. I'm not quite sure what they're popping, but pop that.
You know what they popping.
I know what they popping. I know.
Shake that ass, now pop that pussy and shake that ass. Now pop that pussy and shake that ass. 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 Pop that pussy and shake.
In case you were curious on what was popping.
Track number 11, Rap Make Money.
But not enough money.
Apparently not.
Rap make money and fuck hoes. 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 A nigga rap make money and fuck hoes. A nigga rap make money and fuck hoes. A nigga rap make money and fuck hoes.
No. Track number 12. You know, I've seen people smoke a lot of things.
You have. And you know, I've heard of people making bongs out of a lot of things too.
I've never heard of smoking onion.
No. You're about to hear about it though.
Yo, man, why don't you file some of that onion, man? I'm ready to get real buck now, man. Come on, file some of that onion, man. Give it her iPad.
Now, an onion is an ounce of cocaine, but I don't think that's what he's talking about.
I don't think so either. Track number 13, Uzi Tool.
Cool, boy, I got the Uzi tool. Nigga trying to act cool, boy, I got the Uzi tool. Nigga trying to act cool, boy, I got the Uzi tool. Nigga trying to act cool, boy, I got the Uzi tool.
He does have that Uzi tool.
I've heard that about him. Last track on the record, Gangsta Walk. Not to be confused with Gangsta Boogie.
No.
Yo, Gangsta Boogie, don't touch the girl.
DJ Spanish Fly. Oh, word.
Well, that was definitely a record that happened.
It was.
One and done. DJ Spanish Fly with Unfinished Business 1987. I'm going to surprise the shit out of you. There was no charting action on
What?
that. I know.
What's up with this Cement Shoes track? Do you have anything about that? Why a million people have listened to it?
I have no idea. And the part we heard was all just music.
I mean, he is DJ Spanish Fly after all. I mean,
yeah,
I kind of get it, but
I don't know. I have no idea. So maybe listen to the whole thing and
yeah. Story for another time, maybe.
Another time, another place.
Hey, Craig, you said it wasn't as bad as some.
It wasn't as good as some either. So there was
Win
definitely
some,
a
you
record
lose
that
some.
happened. I will not be adding this one to the library. I will say that.
Sucker.
Didn't make him threaten to pull his funding.
That's how you can judge if it's worth listening to or if it's offensive. And by offensive, I just mean like sonically bad, not.
Yes. So let's get into the record of the week, shall we?
Why not? That's why we have one.
Record of the week for episode 532 comes to us from the world's first hip hop band.
Yes. Not the legendary Roots crew.
No. It was released February 5th of 1991, running 69 minutes and 1 second on Tommy Boy. Tommy's not my boy. Tommy Boy and Warner Brothers Records. Produced
It's also
by,
not Nucleus, by the way, because they were a funk band.
Yes. Produced by Bobby Simmons.
Wait.
And Prince Paul. And Alvin Mooney. And Bob Coulter. And Norman Cook. This record is the third and final album.
Or maybe it won't be.
Maybe. As of right now, it's the third and final album.
As of us recording live, this is their third and final album. Should you happen to have been here live 2 days from now, you may want to check Spotify.
Yes. Because
we can't tell you anything because there's nobody here to confirm or deny.
Right.
But as our show is, so is music subject to change.
Yes. It is called Blood, Sweat, and No Tears. And it is from Stetsasonic. And I love the fact that they even say hip hop band.
They are.
Stetsasonic.
Yes, they were not a group. They were a band. They played instruments.
I have 17 tracks on this record.
I have 17 tracks on this record.
Track number 1 is an interlude.
Almost.
Almost. And it's called Hip Hop Band. See, that's the kind of music that I was hoping to get tonight.
Yeah.
Track number 2. It's funny. Produced by Bobby Simmons, whose initials are BS.
Uh-huh.
But no BS allowed. So how could he produce it if he was not allowed?
He wasn't allowed in the studio to record.
Oh, so he's behind the glass.
Yes.
Let's get this straight. Rappers are a dime a dozen. Some were around from the start, some wasn't. Some are okay on the lyrical tip, but some of these bums, they ain't saying shit. I happen to know that some of them they can throw on.
Can I tell you, Stetsasonic helped me pass a test?
You've never told me that story, and you've told me a lot of them.
I have. I'm full of stories. This is technically a C story because it was a college course that I took while I was underway. It's a semester at sea, if you will, but it wasn't. I had a map. It was a geography, and I had to identify places in Africa.
Okay.
So Stetsasonic has a song where it goes AFRICA, Angola, Soweto, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Zambia, Mozambique, and Botswana. So let us speak about the motherland.
Very nice.
I mapped it out as I was. Well, that's how I learned it. As I was singing, I'm like Angola, Soweto, Zimbabwe, Tanzania. Cranky, it's funny you say that because I actually did go to Djibouti.
You have been to Djibouti. I remember
2007.
that.
Yes, that was my last deployment.
I think Richie Shook went to Djibouti as well.
Yes.
So anyway,
yes,
since no BS was allowed. Track
getting
number
off of
3,
Cranky's booty.
Yes, please. Track number 3, Uda Man. UDA.
Yes.
MAN.
TFO.
We're on Uda Man.
Hey, listen to the man. Hey, listen to the man. Hey, listen to the man. Hey, listen to the man. Hey, listen to the man. Hey, listen to the man. Hey, listen to the man.
It's on me to start, so let me grab the handle. Rip up the goods and slam with the ammo. Spark the jar to make heads nod. To leave my opposition like a vegetable retard. Shooting the gift, the gab like a jab. And when time is up, hey, you know you've been stabbed.
Cranky said Djibouti is famous for supplying Africa with orange soda.
So now we know who to blame.
Look, when I was there, they had shirts that said Djibouti-licious.
That's funny. Track number 4, and this goes out to my soon-to-be daughter-in-law. Speaking of a girl named Susie. I don't know if it's soon-to-be daughter-in-law, but she pretty much is my daughter-in-law.
She better be glad she's not a girl named Sally.
Then she'd just be that girl.
Speaking about that girl named Susie, man. She moving, baby mama.
Speaking of a girl named
Susie.
Oh, we fucking down here, y'all. Come here, Susie,
Speaking of a girl named Susie.
Let me rub you down, Susie, baby.
Speaking of a girl named Susie.
Oh, you fat bubba.
Speaking of a girl named Susie. Said she'd do anything to suit me. Take off clothes or put them back on. Ain't that right, Wise?
Word is born.
Track number 5. Girls.
Oh.
That's all I really wanted. Track number 6.
Wait, I don't want to interrupt this, but I'm going to interrupt this. I just got a flash across my screen that said the Locks are setting out on their 30th anniversary tour, starting in June and ending in December.
Well, that's a real anniversary.
It is. Closest to you is either New Haven.
It's pretty far, but
it is. Okay. Manhattan, of course. Or Rochester.
Rochester. Isn't that that was the butler for somebody. Who was it?
I don't know. The only butler I can think of is Jeffrey and Mr. Belvedere.
That's I can't remember who it would be off the top of my head. It's been a long day. So after Blood, Sweat, and No Tears, we have.
Oh, that's what we're on now.
Oh, okay. So I
after
did say
Girls.
That one. I did say Blood, Sweat, and No Tears. We just hadn't played it yet. So
right, because I interrupted
6,
you.
Blood, Sweat, and No Tears.
Kick it in, Paul. Yeah. And yes, y'all. Yo, can we take this up a little higher to the next plateau? Yo, do you want to show them some freestyle or what? Alright, I'm going first. Check it out. Check out the news. Never singing the blues. It's your choice. So it takes you.
Track number 7. So let the fun begin. The fun began about an hour and 40 minutes ago.
I'd like to think so.
Did for us anyway.
But for us, it started about 10 minutes before that.
I like to party. He likes to party.
I like to party.
So from what I'm to understand, Stet likes to party.
I've heard that about them. Track number 8, Go Brooklyn 3. Is that anything like the Disco 3?
It is not.
The rhythm that could break a camel's back. For every foe would know we never slept, Jack. So if you're slow, you know you're gonna get swept. So keep pace, for this time we take a large step. A lot of things took place while we worried about. West Coast is going in and East Coast is out. People making records, having their own thing like that hip house garbage in the New Jack swing.
Hip house garbage in the New Jack swing. Hey, speaking of hip house, would you qualify Twin Hype as hip house? I mean, you can't say,
not to the point of Jungle Brothers' "Girl, I'll House You."
Right.
They have a definite house influence, but I wouldn't say they are house music.
Yeah.
I do it to the crowd has a house feel to it, but
right.
Nothing else on that record does.
I don't know. There was a song.
Oh, yes.
It.
You know,
I
shouldn't say nothing else, but it wasn't predominantly like that.
Right.
So I would say no. I would say they're hip hop who dabbled in a house music style for a couple of tracks.
Yeah. So they would be hip house for those two tracks.
For just those two tracks. Yes.
Because for those who like to groove, it's kind of a house feel.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Anyway, off topic. Daddy-O pulled us off topic.
Track number 9 does not feature Orange Juice Jones.
It doesn't.
Although it should.
Or Raspberry.
No. And we didn't see you and him, but there was Walking in the Rain.
Hey, baby, it's me.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, sweetness, I'm home.
MC Delight.
Track number 10. This is good advice. Don't let your mouth write a check your ass can't cash.
That's what that Paul kid's going to be dealing with.
Oh, yeah. Smooth
Not Prince Paul.
dedications going out to my
He's a
man,
haircut.
the E double
and Eluden.
and PMD.
Yes.
Special dedications to DJ Scratch, the Albany Projects in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna break it down a little something like this here. 1, 2, and don't forget the daddy. Always for the only, cheapest for relief. People like to talk about the hip-hop band. Not that they get away with it, but they think they can. Cutting the eyes and frowning at wise and saying Paul can't cut. Kiss my butt.
Kiss my butt.
Yeah, I didn't know that they had an issue with EPMD. I'm going to have to write that down and check that out.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't aware
Stet
of that
and
either.
EPMD. He said this goes out to Eric Sermon and Parrot Smith and DJ Scratch. And okay.
Track number 11. Ghetto is the world.
Yes, because Grease is the word.
Flavor in your ass, please.
Mhm.
Track number 12. Your mother has green teeth.
Your mother got a glass eye with the fish in it. Your mama, your mama, your mama.
Are you coming? need you. Come on, young lady, let me please you. Come on, baby.
Gotta cut your mother arms off so she couldn't kick it.
Track number 3 asks another question. You still smoking that shit?
Called Paul, DBC, and the Y Supreme, and the Stet drummer Bobby. The rhyme orator, no one greater, Stetioneered by the console Canadian with soul. This is a story yet untold, but when this shit unfolds, oh well. Daddy-O, I wasn't born with no silver spoon or with a girl like Brooke in the Blue Lagoon. I just wanted to be what I could at the time, so I devoted my time to write real good rhymes. Got challenged once, had a terrible fight, and my opponent's family wore black the next night. Put a fear in them seats by the way I talk, and I'm a bad motherfucker from East New York. Yeah.
Yo, Daddy-O, guess who I seen the other day?
Track number 14. Heaven help the MFs.
Struggle remembered by me and Stet members came close to 7.
Track number 15 took place in East New York.
Brooklyn.
My name is Rod Supreme and I don't eat pork. I reside in Chilltown but came from East New York. From a time of being broke to a life of luxury. Stay in the house so you won't see much of me. But when I'm out, I go to Brooklyn just to chill and max. And from my head to my toes, I wear all black. No, I'm not a criminal. Playing with my digital. Lay back in my...
Track number 16. Paul's a sucker.
He needs a looting.
Well, that's what you do to a looting. You suck it, right?
That's what I hear.
Prince Paul is like the biggest sucker. Yeah, that's right, I'm a sucker. You know, man, I went out like an acrylic biscuit over you, baby. Acrylic, not even leather or suede. Check it out.
And last track on the album, number 17, Free South Africa Remix. I didn't hear the original.
Soweto, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Zambia, Mozambique, and Botswana. So let us speak about the motherland. Angola.
That is your record of the week for episode number 532.
Now you did it.
I did it too, yeah. 532, and this is Stetsasonic.
It is.
With blood, sweat, and no tears. I do not have any singles released off of this.
I believe that.
Because they weren't a big singles band. But
they were a hip-hop band.
But it was on the Billboard Top R&B albums, and it peaked at number 75. So there was charting action for the record.
Nice.
What a great record that was.
Yes. Like I said, and it helped me pass a college geography exam.
There you go. See?
And the funny thing is, we were off the coast of Africa when I was taking that test. We had launched boats into Tunisia.
And there's a reason why it came on when you heard it. So.
Yes.
All right, man. So your Record of the week, Stetsasonic, Blood, Sweat, and No Tears. Your
Mhm.
one and done was DJ Spanish Fly with Unfinished Business 1987. A reminder that your artist of the month for April of 2024 is Snoop Dogg, as they say.
Yes.
Yes, I did know that. In
Spoilers.
the deserts of Tunisia. And before we take our final break,
Ooh.
just when you thought you couldn't get enough of Daddy-O and Stetsasonic,
Yes.
we have an old to the new.
We do.
And that old to the new is from Daddy-O, Wise, Smooth Da Hustler,
Yeah, I thought that was a nice addition.
and Mala Reigns.
She sounds like a wrestler.
It's called Cypher. It is your old to the new for Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 532.
You give me the respect that I'm entitled to. Yo, that's the Sonic. I'm pulling up. Yo, I got this. My mind's off the top off top list. They have to top, no one off or go topless. Me and this money go together. We monotonous. Keep eyes on the prize like binoculars. Like the evil eyes. They watch it with the little fist. Feel it in the air when I'm around. It's ominous. I'm around them up when I'm down like a communist. You ain't about to eat, not even a little condiment. They bars cool, but now my bars survive the apocalypse. Scholar serves zombies, take hostages. Ransom a small fortune, that's a scholarship. Block their little footwork, sorta like a cobbler. Mala Christian gifts to the bag, I'm a doctor. You the type who cooperate with the opposite. Talking to me, ma, then raise up your opposite. Put them with their butts to the seat like a toddler. Try to call an officer, put them in the hospital. See me that heart beat, 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 beat in the monitor. I'm a mean girl, cut the check, then garnish it. They be left in astonishment. That's my how the story starts. Fred kicking the door, have more shit on the floor than a dog can talk. Damn, rock while I pick this bull, the swift new, down the hound and shit through. I'm overrated, it's underrated. I'm under the clouds, over you clowns, hunger gaming. I'm from the county of Kings, what it sound like. I'm 5'7", 5'8", be my crown height. Who it supposed to be? If you can smell my cologne, you be close to me. Cats outside studio doors, they hear the chaos. Smooth in the booth in the chaos. Witchcraft, now witchcraft that I play on. When I'm on play, it's all the way, all day long, it's all they want. We don't need y'all for nothing. Cats get crushed, nobody from here puts, that should keep y'all from coming. You won't come, my home running. You won't run in your mouth, we at the homecoming. It's homecoming, I go pro. I'm a hip-hop go. Ghostbusters with the ghost guns and I got go.
Then move for hard like a ramsack. Me and Stetsasonic, the original hip-hop band back. Filling up stadiums cause I can. Generate enough waves to get you seasick on dry land. Opponents get a hectic scare. Believe you me, they'll be shocked with me like I was the electric chair. Froze to froze like ice kid. Knowing that the skills I possess truly rose like Christ did. Now, I gotta get off. I hear we go again. So roll the red carpet cause you know I'm gonna go again. Lyrics is free and rhymes may bail. So it's set for me to spit more bars in the jail cell. Dangle a miss with angles with this. Not knowing Brigantes in the building with the skills of mangling this. Attract any other cattle smoking the sacks and then I treat them like the opening act. We got boys like this, me and the boys like this. And like PE, best believe bring the noise like this. Stage-wise, you won't remember who the rest is unless you mention the set and truly knowing who the rest is.
Cypher, I'ma be killing it. Still waiting on a check from Milk for top billing it. Down with Team Homie, so yeah, I'm chill willing it. Hip hop and Winter Garden of Rhymes, and I'm tilling it. Far as rappers in my class, I ain't seeing it. Far as beating all y'all ass, I'm foreseeing it. Rappers be a joke to me, straight comedy. Entry level 2-bit flows, I'm an anomaly. Y'all don't want no part of me, I'm what you call a prodigy. Stetsasonic mall so deep, we putting rappers to sleep. Y'all fraudulent, tell me where the order went. When was it okay to bite and not okay to write? Catch me throwing and foul at Brown Billion. Used to spend my summers in Memphis with Grandma Lillian. Went to school in East New York, Thomas Jefferson. You could call me Kendrick Cole, hang with the best of them. And I'll be bringing war to y'all with no truth. Again, I see the fraud in y'all, I got proof. My name, I wear it proudly, Ebony Chief. And like I said before, y'all ain't fucking with me.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
That's the end?
Yeah, that's the end, unfortunately. And for those who may have a problem with the fact that the production sounds like it came through a phone, it's because it came through a phone.
Yes. I did the best I could.
So,
but by the time this airs, you can go listen to that on Spotify.
Yes, it will be available by the time this airs. So enjoy the new, old of the new, Daddy-O, Wise, Smooth the Hustler, and Mala Reigns with Cypher. Production values or not, that was tight.
Yes.
So I enjoyed that. We are going to take our final break.
When Daddy-O says your entry level skills and I'm an anomaly. Yes.
Yeah, that's good wordplay.
Yes.
We are going to take our final break of the evening. When we come back, it will be time for Bill Reed's Lyrics on Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 532.
Yay.
Yay.
The freaking Rangers ended up winning, huh?
They did, yeah. Kako got the tying goal and then Kreider on the power play with like 3 minutes left.
Oh, Kako. All righty, let me see what I can pull up here. Yeah, so since that game was postponed,
yes,
canceled today, they just wiped that. Like, I never placed that as part of my parlay.
Right. Well, that's
good. It's good, but it sucks because that really boosted.
Yeah.
I would have gotten a lot more
really
if that happened.
But it would have really sucked if they said, nope, you lose.
Right.
Especially if you hit every other leg.
Yep. Or they cancel the whole bet because part of it wasn't able to be completed. Because they'll do that. Like if I do a same game parlay and, somebody doesn't play, that whole bet goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks sometimes, but
yes.
Other times it's a big help because I picked the wrong things to happen and I don't get penalized for it. What do we got here? Oh, I got to switch banks. I got to switch banks and steals.
No, just the banks.
Okay. How about, since we talked about them, let's give them something to talk about. Okay, we'll do this here. Go back to intros and fillers, and we'll cue up the motherfucking piano. It's right there. And then we'll come over here. And we'll say, okay, player, are you ready?
Never.
Good. Then we're going to do this with a Shri. Who's your mama?
I rock Versace sipping VSOP and Hennessy and phone cups. Motorola flips with illegal chips. Dipped in like Tila while everybody mama collecting money from FEMA. 5 Series Beamer, 189 horse.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is your boy representing the West Coast, Razcast, and you are now tuned to the Mr. Throwback Thursday. Yeah.
All day, every day. In Southern California where the dogs in the rip stay. And nowadays fools don't know how to act cause we all want to be Tony.
But it starts with Bill.
Preston. It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. Words together is a sentence. Take Tylenol for any headache. Might for any cramps.
Most people listen to the Lord. But they should.
Welcome to Bill Reed's Lyrics.
The following segment of Bill Reed's Lyrics is an educational discussion of artistic expression and creativity in modern music. This segment may contain explicit or offensive language. Sensitive individuals are discouraged from listening. The views and opinions within these lyrics are not necessarily those of Mr. Throwback Thursday or its hosts.
And welcome back to Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 532. It is indeed time for the aforementioned and properly disclaimed Bill Reed's Lyrics. You got
I do love the Wheel of Fortune one.
I wasn't expecting that one tonight.
Yeah.
So, again, with no further ado, would you hit me with some Bill Reed's Lyrics, please?
Oh, I'm going to hit you.
I'm sure you will.
I'm going to kick you in the grill, Pete.
I'm scared. No, this is not the gas face. I wish it was. It would be so much easier if it was.
It would, yes, but it is not.
Oh, well, this is a record I haven't seen in a while.
Well, that's good.
Where are you going?
Verse 1.
So that's intro, that's hook. Verse 1 would be from the artist himself, yes?
It would be, yes.
Okay.
So with no type of ado.
None.
Sesame Street Grover style, whether nearer or further, we will cue the motherfucking piano.
Yo, my face is wet. Got hair on my tongue, 'cause I'm a greedy nickelback. Absorb pussy juice like a sponge. Feel the pretty warm dick. Rub it on your clit. Oh, right before I bust, I spray it on your tits. Switch you over. Throw you to the side with one leg up. See the head slide in your hole. He stay up. Dick all shiny. Helmet head bulging. Smack it on your tushy. When I hear the click, click, it's wet and it's gooshy. From behind, I'm a mastermind. 100 fast ones and slow it up because I know how to fuck. Keep your pussy right there. Don't move. Oh, holla at your boy, baby. Do what it do. I love fucking you. Your pussy's the bomb. Yeah. Think about fucking this shit all day when I'm gone. Get up, suck that dick, spit on it, slob on that shit. More bubbles at the knob of that shit. It's my word. Use a whore. Tastes good, right? Turn around, get on all four. You pulling my hair. Shut the fuck up. Why you fucking me like that? Shut the fuck up. This ain't no R&B dick, this hood. My slow damn jick is on Thursdays. If my sugar high, my dick don't get up. You know I'm the best. Just shut your mouth up like you're under arrest. I'm ready to come. You ready to come? Yeah. Keep it right. Oh my gosh, my pussy is numb. Okay, just rub it up against your hole. Put your thumb in your mouth and fuck me real slow. Look at me. Yeah, baby. I'ma let that go. Tell me you love me. I love you, baby. Oh. Oh. Christ, I didn't think I was ever going to get to the end of that.
Some classic toast face grilla.
You don't realize Toastface can get that dirty on some records. And then you get the Ghost Dini album.
You do.
And there you have it. Bill reads lyrics on episode 532.
Oh, yeah.
I don't give a hoot about this Bill reading lyrics bollocks. Let's get back to the hip and the hop, shall we?
No, because we are done for the evening.
Then if you would be so kind as to switch your hat from Bill to Phil, and then proceed to take us home.
Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 532, brought to you in part by the world's strongest coffee, Death Wish Coffee. You find them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or deathwishcoffee.com. Use the code TBT to save 12% off your first order.
This code right here?
Code, yes. And then the code THROWBACK will save you 10% off of your subsequent orders at the world's strongest coffee, deathwishcoffee.com. Go check
I got
them
my
out.
pitch black jersey the other day.
I'm still waiting for mine. It's still somewhere in the ether.
Mine came via Amazon.
Mine says it's still waiting for a USPS tracking number, and that was sent out on the 30th. So it's been like 5 days, and I'm still waiting. So
Yeah, that seems to be a thing. I've noticed that on the page. A few people are waiting.
Eventually, I'll get it.
You will.
Otherwise, they refunded my ass. Def Rugs, defrugs.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Def Rugs. Handmade, high-quality hip-hop themed rugs brought to you by the original Rug E Fresh, Marshall Fox, and his business associate, the Green-Eyed Bandit, Eric Sermon. Go check out Def Rugs and get yourself a Def Rug.
Please.
Our friend Heather Lent up in Schenectady, New York, is the proprietor of the Bittersweet Candy Company, where she makes candy and chocolate that is handmade, small batch, different, and
delicious.
Check them out on Facebook and order at bittersweetcandy.com. Use our code THROWBACK to save 10% off your order at bittersweetcandy.com. It's good stuff at that site. Melted Mics, MLTDMICS.com. Pumice Team Mendola gives you hip-hop themed t-shirts. Go use the code MR Throwback Thursday and save 10% off your order and get those hip-hop themed t-shirts from meltedmics.com. And finally, Etsy.com/shop/geek like you, where the geek shall inherit the earth. Hip-hop and pop culture themed items from the sick, twisted mind of Mr. Throwback Thursday himself, plus his sick, twisted wife, Mrs. Throwback Thursday. And you can get all of that at Etsy.com/shop/geek like you, where the geek shall inherit the earth. Social media network for the show. Don't forget to visit us at mrthrowbackthursday.com. MrThrowbackThursday.com is your homepage for everything about this show and the two idiots who bring it to you every week.
Yes.
You can also go to the Hit Us Up feature on there. It's a little microphone, follows you wherever you go. You leave us a voice message. You follow us on Twitter at mrthrowback or the MRTBT, the underscore
right there.
MR underscore TBT. Well, it's also right here as I'm reading it. And Bill underscore MR underscore TBT, which is also my Instagram and Threads handle. Jamie on Instagram and Threads is MR Throwback Thursday.
Hold on. We got a boop.
We got a boop.
We do. Hold on. Let me add the stage. Welcome, Daddy-O.
Yo, I'm sorry, man. I got caught up, man.
It happens.
What's up? I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, good.
Nice.
Good.
Let me mess with some stuff here real quick. Get rid of this off the screen. All right, that's better. Yeah, Lion's like, I'm trying to get a hold of him. I'm trying to get a hold of him. I'm like,
Yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. I got caught up in something, man. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, am I too late? I was trying to text him and ask him, and I said, you know what? Let me just try anyway to get on.
We can always talk. I mean, it's if it's easier for you to do another night, we're good. But
No. I'm good. I'm good now.
Okay,
I'm good now.
Well, that's good. Now that everything is calm.
He was watching the rest of that Rangers game, is what it was.
Yeah. I had to wait till the game was over before I could talk to these dumbasses.
Had to wait for that fight to end. 3 seconds
No,
into
actually,
the game, and
I don't do a whole bunch of sports, but if I was doing that damn that Caitlin Clark is a machine, boy. I don't even be watching girls play basketball. I watched her the other night. I said, man, I don't even know what I'm looking at, man.
Yeah, she's some kind of something, man.
Yeah, that I don't even like the WNBA or none of that. I said, but when she get in the WNBA, then I'm gonna be a WNBA fan.
You know what? She might be in the big three.
Yeah, Cube's offering her money.
No, I'm hoping she accepts the offer.
Yeah, because that would
be nice.
Yeah, and it's for the off season too, so she can do both.
Yeah, she can
Most
do both.
Of the off
yeah.
season anyway. I think they said there's 2 games that would be
that could possibly be a problem. Yeah,
schedule. Yeah,
right.
And they were also talking about Shaq joining the big 3.
Yeah.
So could you imagine Shaq and Caitlin Clark?
I don't know about all that part. That part I don't know.
Put the big diesel underneath the hoop and let him clear people out so she could just rain threes.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. We'll see about that.
But
him and his fake hip. Yeah,
she is a
him and his fake hip.
She's an absolute monster.
Yeah, she was a monster the other night. That was an amazing performance. It's gonna be interesting. I don't think UConn got enough though. I like that little girl on UConn too, but I don't think they got enough for them.
I don't think so either.
Paige Buchers.
Yeah, Buchers is dope.
Yeah.
She's dope. Her inside game is crazy.
Mm-hmm. She's a good player too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's gonna have enough though. Carry the team.
Not for this. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Cranky said Shaq's got worse wheels than he does.
That's crazy. So what's up, guys?
Well, I got to show you something before we get going.
Okay. Oh, nice. Sweet.
I had to represent. I came prepared tonight.
That's what's up. Thank you
All right.
so much.
Oh, of course. But that's one of the things. I don't know if Lion told you anything about us. one of the things we started the show 10 years ago. And one of the big things was to let everybody know who was still out there doing stuff and to help support the guys that are still out there working.
Oh man, we appreciate that, man. We totally appreciate that. I get on these guys all the time, man. So, you know, telling you.
Well, we figure we have to do it because it doesn't seem like the current crop of artists really want to pay all that much homage to the legends. So,
well, I mean, you know, so here's the deal. Like,
that
so
I know.
my take is, I'm saying probably, but I know it's I think it leans a little bit more to definitely. My take is different than most people because I believe the responsibility falls on us. You know, when I was coming up, I'm talking about young, right? Before I'm rapping, right? There's no hip hop, right? There's just R&B that's before me, right? But there's a reason that I'm loving the older R&B artists, and that didn't take away from me loving the Jackson 5 or the Silvers or Brighter Side of Darkness. I always tell people it was way more than one kid group, but people only think it was Jackson 5. It was a bunch. Little Anthony, Imperials. You know what I mean? So we did have our crop of young artists, but there was a reason that we respect the elder artists, and it was because they was putting out dope stuff. You know what I mean?
That's what matters. The music matters.
So when we stop making music, meaning my peers, I'm talking about my generation, I call us 80s rappers, right? That's the easiest way to put it. When we stop making music, you know, you put yourself in a position to possibly be forgotten. You know, we come from a time that there was no internet, so you know your shelf life was short, and after that you either end up in a bargain bin or you end up nowhere. Right. Hopefully on somebody's mix cassette, hopefully like somebody, you know, taped you or whatever and held on to you. But in order to stay relevant, we put out music. There was nothing else to do, you know what I mean, but put out music to stay relevant and hope that somebody in Kansas knew what you were doing. Hope that somebody in St. Louis knew what you was doing. Hope that somebody in Florida knew what you was doing, because there was no way to really tell. Besides for fan mail that was sitting at Tommy Boy, which who knows when you go through fan mail. I always say the joke I make about fan mail all the time is Monica Lynch, who was the president of Tommy Boy, went out and bought us rubber stamp signatures. And we used to just go up there and just open stuff. And the only time we even paid attention to any fan mail was if the package was interesting. Somebody could have been said that their house is burning down. We didn't know.
We wouldn't even know.
You know what I mean? But you know, the way you made relevance, my point is the way you made yourself relevant is by putting out more music. And when we stopped putting out music, of course there was always a chance, and it wasn't really that slight, that we would be forgotten, that somebody would not remember what we were doing. And so us not being current, that contributes a whole lot. Now, granted, you know, these kids take totally different type of drugs than we did. Yo, I was in the car today with two of my buddies, man, and the guy who was driving, he always plays he always, you know, turns on either Hot 97 or Power 106 from New York. And there was a Future record on there called I'm Fried. I said, man, Future always high, man. The record is talking. The whole song is about him being fried. I'm like, whoa. So, you know, granted, they are drugged out. I can't front about that. Like I can't make that up. I can't make excuses for them for being drugged out. You know, we had a little tray bag of weed and that was it for us. You know what I mean?
They're creating designer shit.
Yeah, crazy, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think we can take on some of that responsibility by just not being current. And I think it's important. I think it's, you know, we didn't have the access to, and you know, I hate to bring technology up sometimes, but I will here. we didn't have the access to the things that we have now. I mean, we had the Stripes Empty on the tape, and
Mhm.
I mean, studios were expensive, and none of us were engineers. And when we finished, we had to wait for it. Sometimes you got to wait a week just to hear some song that you recorded.
That you
You know
did,
what I
yeah.
mean? And then I always talk about videos. Like videos were, 40 and 60,000 and north of that. And even with a video, you had to wait, who knows how long before they edited it and put it together and all of those things.
Yeah.
You just don't have that anymore. You know what
Before
I mean? You can
before it was
cut
Yo
when you want.
MTV Raps Ready.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you could cut when you want, you can shoot when you want. And so I don't think that we really have an excuse. I just think that cats just don't do it. I hate to say why I really think they don't do it, because I feel bad. But cats are not getting paid to do it, so they just don't do
Yeah.
it. I don't even understand that part. Because we
I
all started doing it because we loved it.
Right. I was gonna say I don't believe that you can be I don't think you can call yourself a musician or an
Right.
artist if you only want to do it when you're getting paid.
Well,
'Cause
that's
if it's
tough.
not,
That's
it
tough
becomes
because
a
that's our
job,
heroes, right?
Exactly.
right? It becomes
I
a
was about to
job
say,
instead of your love, essentially.
Yeah, but that's our heroes. I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
what we're looking at with most of my peers. I guarantee you, if most of my peers was offered budgets of $100,000 and up, that they would make albums.
Right.
I'm
And I
They
think that's
don't
why a
make
lot of them
albums.
are just on tours now, like on these put together shows.
Yeah.
Because you get paid to do your stuff. Everybody's
Yeah.
happy.
And nothing's wrong with that. Like,
No,
there's
no.
nothing wrong with that. I think it's great. I mean, it's always great to get paid for something.
Yes. Nobody should be doing it for free, but
we are a
Exactly.
capitalist society. That's
Yeah. But
My mortgage don't
making
pay
the
itself.
music, like that's the part. Like that's the part. Like, you know what I mean? So for us, like if I just talk about Stet just as a band, for us, that's where the rubber meets the road, right? Because we're thinking Earth, Wind, and Fire, we're thinking Mandrill, we're thinking War, we're thinking Sly and the Family Stone, we're thinking that, and we're knowing that, as bands that we respected, and some of the people that we respected coming up, they wouldn't rest with just nothing. You know what I mean? They would
Right.
do something. They would make some music. They would try to, you know what I mean? And as far as relevance is concerned, because that always becomes the issue, right? Oh, well, if we do it, we're not relevant. Young people don't want to hear what we got to say. I think you have to determine your relevance, right? And I think that
Yeah.
I think one of the things that my peers do is ignore, our real fans. Like they don't exist. Like, oh, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like, what are they, chopped liver? Like, but you don't ignore them when they coming out to your I Love the 90s tour, or when they coming
Yeah.
out to your throwback shows. You don't ignore them
Yeah.
then. You know what I mean? So why ignore the fact that they are people? I'm not saying they don't have to be dope, and I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. One thing I'll say all the time, it ain't easy to be an 80s rapper and make music right now. It's not easy.
No, I totally believe that.
You gotta figure that out. Like that you gotta do some grappling, you gotta do some, you might throw away a whole bunch of stuff. You might cut stuff and like it, but know that if you release it, it's not gonna be the right thing to release. I mean, you gotta figure that part out. But I think my fans are worth it. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
Well, we
Are
appreciate
your
that.
fans worth it? You know what I mean? Are your fans worth the time and effort? Because you know what? We figure out everything else, whether it's how to put together, and I'm talking us now, right? So whether it's how to put together your grandkid's bike, or, the navigation in your car, and, the turns coming up too quick, right? But you got to figure stuff out anyway.
Right.
So, I don't think that there's anything wrong with trying to figure out, like, what kind of music are we going to make? Like, You know, what does it need to sound like? And I years ago I came up with something called a nephew principle, right? There's gotta be, out of all the guys and girls from my generation that rap, they gotta have one nephew that's dope making beats. Everybody got one. Everybody got one nephew that's on Fruity Loops, GarageBand, something.
Yeah.
That's making something. And you just gravitate to that nephew. The first 4, 5, 10, 11, maybe 20, 30 things that he might not be applicable, but that 31st joint might be crazy. And if it moves in the right direction and you start giving him some ideas and maybe throwing him some sample ideas and all of that, you'll be able to come up with it. It's just but it takes time. You know, it takes time.
Yeah. Well, there's people out there, I'll say people that say that they're going to put out I don't know, like a flute album or something because they don't have anything to say anymore. What is it that keeps Daddy-O putting stuff out? Because you've been putting out stuff constantly. I mean, like quarterly, I hear stuff from you.
Yes.
Well, I think it's hip. Well, let me say overall. Overall, it's hip hop, right? Because I don't make a division, right? So I don't make a division. Sad to say, but true. I really don't make that kind of division between Future and Heavy D. And I know that sounds crazy.
That is tough for me to hear. Yeah.
In the same token, it all comes from the same tree, right? And yes, sometimes when you grow a tree, your fruit is rotten. But you know what I'm saying?
It's true.
But it's still from that tree, right? So and then one thing I realized about my generation, right, which I love, and the guys that made records right before us too, because I remember one time I went on YouTube and I don't know what I was looking for, but I ended up putting in a search Enjoy Records, right? And there was a guy and he had made this Enjoy Records mix, and it was, I don't know, the mix is like 34 minutes, 35 minutes. And I found the same guy made a Sugar Hill Records mixed as well.
Wow.
And it was all of my favorite Enjoy records, right? Funky 4 Plus 1 More, like all of that stuff. Love Rap was on there, some Dope Treacherous 3 was on there, and all of that. But I was listening to it, right? And sonically, I was like, we never really got better than this. You know, I heard some stuff and I was like, we never really got better than this. And I think we worked really hard for the masterpiece. I think with the young people, it's just little pieces. And I don't know if they're masterpieces or not, but it's just little pieces. However, there are little nibbles and bites and stuff that you could chew on. You know what I mean? Some of it you might spit out. A lot of it you might spit out. But you know, there's little bites. And so for me, it's the forwarding of the culture, right? And being able to represent not only classic hip hop, but being able to represent hip hop, period. And that's really my thing. Like, you know, I don't really see myself any different than Drake or Kendrick or Cole or Future or Finesse 2 Times or whoever. I don't really see myself any different. I'm a different rapper. I'm gonna talk different. I'm probably gonna talk slicker than all of them because I'm older. You know what I mean? So I can get away with stuff that they can't say because they didn't do it. They wasn't there. I was there when Pac got shot the first time. I was there. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of stuff that I saw that they never saw. You know what I mean? So they can't even talk about that. They could talk about what they saw in their streets, but even my streets was doper to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me. So yeah, so we different rappers, you know what I'm saying? But I think J. Cole got a lot to say. I think JID got a lot to say. I think a lot of these young cats have a lot to say, you know what I mean? But that doesn't take away from what I have to say.
Right.
And so I think that's to me, that's the driving force for me, is that I'm an MC. You know, that's the other thing I think, because an MC could be a rapper, but a rapper can't be an MC.
Totally agree.
That
You know what I'm
is-
saying?
yeah.
Which is what makes Eminem so dope. People could get mad at me all the time, but Eminem was an MC way before he was a rapper. I don't even think he was thinking about being a rapper. That kid does not look like he wanted to rap.
Yeah, it's
He
not.
looked like, battling all of that. I'll do all of this, but in terms of this industry thing, he don't look like the type of kid that even wanted no industry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he was dope. So of course, getting with a guy like Dre, it's 2 + 2 then, right?
Yeah.
It's a slam dunk then. So a MC could easily be a rapper, but a rapper can't be an MC. And sometimes the MC thing goes a little overboard, Black Thought. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it goes a little far where people can't understand some of the scientificness of it and all of that.
Goes
But
too deep.
when you if you combine it the right way, it really, really works, right? To me, Busta's the best example
Yeah.
of combining an MC and making him and becoming a rapper. You know what I mean? That because Busta's got that that rhyme that he did on that Chris Brown record. That's like one of the most popular things of anybody. You know, people run around all day trying to do that rhyme and all of that. And that's an MC doing that. That's not no regular rapper type of thing. Because if that was the case, people would be quoting that same, lyrics of other people the same way.
Right.
So I think part of that is being an MC. I mean, it's still long answer to a short question, but I think part of it is that I'm an MC. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna take all those skills I learned in the park, prior to making records and all that, and just try to put it into the recorded medium. And because I have the ability to do it on the fly now, technically, of course I'm gonna make a whole bunch of records.
There's a reason why that M stands for master.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm sure Jamie's got plenty of questions. We always start with how did you come up with your name?
Yes.
That's always
So
the
my name,
everybody.
My name was given to me. I didn't come up with it. I had a name. My original MC name was Dr. On. And
because you always were?
No, I just liked it. Like, you know what I mean? I like Dr. On, but I didn't know I didn't technically know how to sound, because back in the day, even though everybody had different voices, if this makes sense, back in the day, I'm talking about back in the day, everybody had different voices, but it was almost the same sound.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I met these guys called the Stetson Brothers, which is where Stetsasonic comes from. I met these guys called the Stetson Brothers, and they had a whole nother style and sound called the gangster rock, which is where my grit comes from, all of that kind of stuff. And they taught me that. And I remember one of them pulling me to the side and asking me what my name was. And I told them my name was Dr. On. They was like, no, you're going to nix that. Your name is going to be Daddy-O. They showed me how to put it down. And from then on, I was doing that. Then I went back and I taught it to Delight. And then we taught it to a couple of other cats that was like technically early members of Stetsasonic. But we used to go around East New York, Brooklyn, all around with this style and just blow block parties out the water. You know what I'm saying? With this gangster rock style. I think the best example of gangster rock is a record on the first album called Rock de la Stet, which is the B-side of the first Stetsasonic single. First Stetsasonic single is Just Say Stet. The B-side is called Rock de la Stet, which is where De La Soul got their name from.
Oh, nice.
Because they used to just hang out in the studio with us. But yeah, Rock de la Stet really, really is straight up and down gangster rock. And that's how I got my name. I got my name from this group of guys called the Stetson Brothers. And then later on, I was starting to kind of advance. And it wasn't nothing big, but I was kind of starting to advance in the MC world, kind of make my way. People starting to know who I was. And I invited them to come with me, but unfortunately, at that time, that's when crack sales was starting to, be, profitable.
That's where the
And
money
they were
is.
like,
Yeah.
you go ahead, man. You got it. Like we getting ready to go get this money, and they didn't want to rap no more. And so we was the Stetson brothers for all of 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And then Delight was just like, yo, I don't want to be called the Stetson brothers because people would think we're them, wherever,
Right.
people would think it's still them. So what you want to be called? And Delight came up with the name Stetsasonic. And he was like, Stetson means style, Sonic means sound.
Yeah.
So even on the first album cover, no, the first album cover, no, the second album, Info Gear, it's not the cover, but on the because the cover has the East New York, and that's somewhere in East New York. But inside, you'll see pictures with us in front of the Stetson, like the Stetson hat store, on the side of the Stetson hat store, and in the back of us, you'll see that Stetson sign.
Yep, I got it up on my screen right now.
Yeah. Cranky wants to know, was that their actual name, or did they wear Stetson hats and that's where they got their name from? Stetson brothers, not
their
you.
name was the Stetson brothers. They told me, like, I never saw them wearing Stetson hats, but they told me they used to wear Stetson hats. But I never saw them wear Stetson hats, like not when they was on the block with me. Like I never saw them wear Stetson hats. But that was their name. They called themselves the Stetson brothers. And it was, I don't know how many of them it was. I know 2 of the guys used to live on my block. And then they used to tell me about a guy named Jeff Green, and they used to tell me a guy named Pudgy Pudge that lived in Long Island. I never met those 2. And I don't know if there was more of them.
Yeah.
But
it's like the Wu-Tang Clan. You never know how many there are.
Affiliates.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I got my name.
So I know that Stetsasonic is a hip hop band.
Right.
How is it that it was, hey, let's form a band and not a group of rappers, at the time? Because that's the first hip hop band that I know of.
I
know Nucleus
it's not
was a funk
rocket
band,
science.
but
it's not rocket science. So what happened with Stet was, when we inducted members into the outfit, 2 of the people that we inducted into the outfit were already like what I would call built-in producers, and that's how I learned how to produce records. Prince Paul was a producer already. He was 17 years old, but he was already a producer with equipment and everything. And DBC was a producer. And so when we went into the studio, we were making our own music. That was a little different than most people. I guess besides for Chuck and them having the Bomb Squad,
right,
which was their boys, right? And even Hank and Keith and Eric never showed up on stage. You know what I mean? But that was their boys, and that was their internal outfit, and they made records, right?
Right, and there's a very distinct Bomb Squad sound.
Yes.
Right. We were making our own songs. We were making our own records. And then when it came down to it, we was like, how are we going to duplicate this on stage? Because it was no Serato. It was no, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so we just decided we would just take everything on stage. Like all the equipment, the drum machines, everything we used to make music, we would just take it on stage. And that was the way Delight was really the one that coined it. That was the way we came together and called ourselves a hip hop band. Because we had all of the elements. We call ourselves a hip hop band because we had all the elements that made hip hop music. We had a guy that did, we call them human percussions, but the people say beatbox, whatever.
Right.
We had a guy that did the beatbox. We had a DJ. We had drums. We had a drum machine. We had like all of the things that was making hip hop music. We had inside of our outfit. And so that was why Delight coined us a hip hop band.
Band.
You know, a little different than, you know, some of the other guys. And that's no disrespect to some of the other guys, but you know, guys are going to Marley to make their records. Guys are going to this one to make their records. We wasn't going to nobody. We was making our own records.
Doing all in-house, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to let everybody know who may not have known for whatever reason, band, very important, band.
Right.
So as a band, could you relate to Mtume's stance on sampling? Not the lazy and uncreative part, but the using something that somebody else created.
Well, hip hop, and when I say hip hop right now, I just mean the music part, right? Because I know people get in a little panty bunch about it being a culture and all that.
Yeah, and the different elements. And yes, music. Gotcha.
Hip hop is probably the most beautiful collage to ever exist, right?
Yeah.
We started off rapping on records, right? So I always tell people, you tell me hip hop is more than 2 turntables and a microphone, and I'm gonna fight you, right? Because that is the way we started, right? The purest form of it musically is a DJ doing what Flash created, which is that 3-second backspin, and somebody getting on the mic the way Keith Cowboy got on the mic with him, and just really putting it down. And that's it in its pristine form, right?
Right.
The purest form of what it is. So sampling, we really owe the way we sample to Grandmaster Flash, because that's basically his 3-second. That's all we did. Or you know, I mean, honestly, Flash should be making a whole lot more money from these companies than anybody could ever tell. Especially if you start talking about the early guys, like the early SP12s and all of that kind of stuff, because you know, them things was only sampling what, a second and a half.
I'd say second and a half or so.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, but that's what that is. So, I do believe we've been very lucky, and so I've got to see some very interesting things firsthand. I'll give you an example. When we did Talking All That Jazz, Delight came up with the idea and the name for the song. And the idea for Talking All That Jazz was, let's make a record that correlates the ideology of jazz and hip hop. The Latin Quarter and the old jazz clubs, same thing. So Latin Quarter, Lexington Lounge, same thing. You know what I mean? Jazz musician doing whatever he does, us doing whatever we do at the rooftop or whatever, same thing. And we wanted to make this record that just kind of, you know, not really compared, but really, you know, really showed the brotherhood or the, you know, sisterhood, whatever you want to call it, but the marriage of the two, the way they were similar. And for that, we decided, can't remember who it was, it probably was me, just because I had this record growing up, on Lonnie Liston Smith's expansions to use as an underbed for music. Now, granted, at that time there was samplers, but there was no such thing as a time stretch. So if you sample something and you wanted a certain tempo, if let's just say a record was really fast and you wanted a certain tempo, it was going to slow down, right? And so we attempted to use the original sample. It didn't work. And then Prince Paul had a good friend, God bless the dead, named Donald Newkirk, who came in and he played all the music on Talking All That Jazz, besides for the drum samples and stuff. Right? He played the whole thing through, but he played expansions. All right, I'm going here with this, right? So somewhere with this. So one day I'm up at Tommy Boy, because one thing I say about Tommy Boy, and you know, De La did get caught, but I don't think that was Tommy Boy's fault, because they were adamant about clearing things. They really were. They turned me on to, I had a couple of great sample clearance lawyers, all of that during that time. So I don't know how she did it, but one day I'm up at Tommy Boy and Monica Lynch says, Daddy-O, I want you to get on the phone. I'm putting you on the phone with Lonnie Liston Smith Jr., the man that made Expansions.
That's got to be a little nerve-wracking at the time.
Yeah. So he said, I want to put in. And I said, hey, man, what's going on? Let me know what we need to do. You know what I mean? Because the way I had looked at it was the music was his. The lyrics was mine.
Right.
That's the way I had looked at it. And he said, go ahead, young blood. That ain't even Expansions no more. So he actually fully gave up the rights for talking all that jazz.
Because he could acknowledge that what you did is not what he did.
Same thing happened with a record we got on our album called Showtime. Same album, in full gear. We have a record called Showtime. And it was made by Hank Ballard and the Midnighters. And we're walking down 8th Avenue one day. And what tour bus do we see? We see a tour bus that says Hank Ballard and the Midnighters. So we actually go on the bus and meet Hank. And get the sample cleared that way.
Right there.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I don't think that artists that we sample, I mean, nowadays people might be past and it might get a little icky now because you got to deal with people's estates.
Right.
And who knows who the hell is running the estate. It could be
half the time they don't know who's running the estate. You got 2 or 3 people running the estate.
Yeah, and it's not
each other.
Yeah, and it's not people who would appreciate what you did with the music. It's the people who want the money.
Right. So that's a different story. But I think that those kind of marriages, and I don't know if we was lucky or blessed or fortunate or whatever it was for Stetsasonic, but I think that those are the type of marriages that was always supposed to happen. I think we was always supposed to talk. If there was that opportunity, because you know what, when you're in the park and you're rapping to a record, who cares? Because the only difference was we were playing those records in the park anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Only difference was now somebody was grabbing a mic and rapping on top of it,
and somebody was
but
getting
those
paid
records
to do
were
that.
still going to be played out in the park, right? So I think it's no harm, no foul when you're in the park and you playing. But if you're gonna do the recorded medium, and now it's gonna be on the radio, and now people are gonna hear it over and over, and now you're gonna put it on vinyl or cassette, you know what I mean? Then yes, somebody deserves to be talked to, and if you got to make a deal, you make a deal. If it happens the way it happened with Lonnie Liston Smith Jr., then it happens the way it did with Lonnie Liston Smith Jr. I mean, it all depends. I remember one time when I did my first solo record. I did my first solo record in '93, and I made a record called Brooklyn Bounce. And I got on the phone with Roger Troutman, God bless the dead. And I said, "What you want?" He said, "Well, I just want $9,000 as an advance." I said, "Man, you're killing me." He says, "Man, come on, Daddy-O, I'm giving you the best deal. I charged Rodney O and Joe Cooley $11,000, and then he told me he charged EPMD like some astronomical price." He said, because of a friend, like a family friend, he knew me. Like he didn't know me, but he knew that friend. So he was just like, you getting off the easiest. But those kind of conversations should have always been had. If you had to pay the person, you had to pay the person. I mean, I could have denied it and did something else. I wanted to use More Bounce to the Ounce.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? And I think that that's fair.
Yeah, when you have your vision and what you want to do, you don't want to change that over $9,000.
Right. I just think that people should just talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think those kind of things just need to be talked about.
Because then somebody else is going to pay that $9,000 or whatever, and they're going to do it, and you're going to say, "Damn, I wish I had done that," because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And now it's got somebody else's name on it. So
right, exactly.
Yeah, I had a question, not from me, from Cranky, who's watching. He was watching the Talking All That Jazz video the other day, and he messaged me, and he said, "I had to ask you, what happened to these jackets?"
Well, I think Wise might still have his. I'm sure Prince Paul has his. Mine, I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't. You know, those are troop suits. So um,
That was the shit back in the day, man.
yeah,
Get them
like not
troops.
too many people had like certain kinds of sponsorships. You know what I mean? And they wasn't huge. There was no money involved with
Right.
the sponsorship. But we wore Troop. LL Cool J wore Troop, and I think that there was one other artist that wore Troop, and then there was like this stupid ass rumor going around. Oh, don't wear Troop because it means total rule over oppressed people.
Yes, I remember that.
What type of bullshit? Whatever.
And that was before the internet, man.
Yeah, that was before the internet. But anyway, but yeah, we were sponsored by Troop. I mean, we honestly, man, there's a few pictures out there with us in troop suits, man. We had some dope troop suits. They gave us some nice because they gave us everything. They gave us the suits, they gave us t-shirts, and they gave us the sneakers. So
it's a package deal, man.
yeah, I try. You know, honestly, Troop didn't sponsor me, but like even the last show that I did, I had on Troop sneakers, like some real fly Troop sneakers though. Because Troopers sent me some stuff. That again, it's not really a sponsorship, but I got in touch with them. They knew who I was, and they sent me some of the newer Troop stuff, which is it's still the same style in terms of the way they made it, but they did some flyer things with the colors. But no, I don't think they do. I don't think they do warm up sweatsuits anymore.
He said, "What about the black and gold Letterman jackets from the bar scene?" See, you be paying attention to this stuff.
Those we had made. I don't remember where. But those we had made. Now, Wise still has his on his wall because he calls it his man cave, and that's where his studio is. He's got his in a
like a
frame.
Yeah.
Yep. And Paul still has his as well. Again, mine I don't know where.
We're gonna have to send Pete in Paradise your way, looking for stuff for the
hip
hop museum.
Yeah.
Get you on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be funny. We haven't had them on in a while either. So
no, I know.
We have to talk to them. Oh gosh. So we just played Cypher. We listened to that.
Oh, okay.
And banger. Absolute banger.
Thank you, sir. I love that record, man.
Yeah.
Last record recorded. I don't want to say it almost didn't make the album. We just didn't expect it to make the album.
Mm-hmm.
But then once we listened back, we actually on the digital version, we stripped a couple of records off just so Cypher could be on there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now, has that ever happened in the past where you had a track that you didn't think was going to be so good, and then you heard the final product and you're like, damn, this is better than I thought it was going to be?
No, but I do have a very interesting story about Sally.
Some people don't like the way Sally walks. Is that
Sally was recorded at the same time of the On Fire album.
Really?
And I held the record until On Fire was mastered and out because I said, this is going to secure me a second album. And I was right. And I never forget that because I played it for Monica Lynch after everything was done. The test presses had came out because back in the day it's vinyl, right? So the test presses had came out for the On Fire album and stuff. And the On Fire is a dope album, you know what I mean? And then she goes, Daddy-O, why didn't you let me hear this before? And I said, because I know you would have wanted to put it on the album. And she said, you're right. But I said, now you can hear what kind of music I want to make for the second album.
That's
this is the appetizer.
That ace in the hole. You keep that ace in the hole.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't think I can recall like that. So Stetsasonic, we just so that's a new thing for us, right? I'm answering your question. No, it's never happened before because that's a new thing for us. We've always been confident about our music, regardless. Let me keep this very clear. Regardless to where or how it might land. Okay, we haven't been the type of people like so super duper egotistical, like, oh yeah, this is gonna be bomb. Everybody gonna love this. Da da da. We knew we were making music, a certain kind of music. Um, it might not be everybody's cup of tea. I will say we knew it wasn't whack. But as to whether or not it would apply to everyone, we didn't know. We just knew we was gonna make the best stuff that we could possibly make. Um, Recording nowadays is a totally different process, period. And one of the things about recording nowadays that makes it, I guess, doper in a way, is the speed. You know, that could have never happened in the past. There's no way in the past that we could have stripped this on an album. No way.
Yeah, because of
Because
the
we had
time
to
it
make
took to do it.
vinyl. Yeah, you had to have too much lead time out to do artwork and all the rest of that. And so you couldn't come back, change the artwork, change the lead time, all of that kind of stuff. So that in itself, changed it up. It was an idea that came, I guess in the 9th hour, whatever you want to call it, 11th hour. There was a song I had did called Afro Air on my I think it's on my From the Hood to You album. I can't remember, but Bobby listened to it and he said, "Man, I always wanted to kind of use that for something." And I was like, "Go ahead." And so he took it, he flipped it, and then once he flipped it, he was like, "Yo, D, I got something," because that's how Bobby does, right? He's like, "Yo, D, I got something. When you hear it, tell me what you think." And he sent me the Marla Raines verse. And I was like, holy shit. All right. I'm like, okay, this what we doing?
Okay.
and I went for it.
Go
And then,
Denzel on him.
and then he reached out to Smooth the Hustler. Actually, he was with Smooth the Hustler one day. We got on the phone. Me and Smooth got on the phone. Smooth was like, "Yo, I'm down to be on the joint with y'all." I had no idea that he was gonna come so dope. Like I had
when we were
no
listening to
idea
it, that was one of the things I said that's a surprise feature there.
It.
That's
he could that I'm 5'7", 5'8" is my
with
crown
my crown
height.
height. Yeah.
What? What?
That's just a sick line.
Yo.
That is a sick
So so
as
me
you
and
can tell, I've
Wise had
listened to
to
a
get
few
on
times.
there. Yeah, me and Wise had to get on there and do our thing. And I think I love that record. That's my next that's the next single. We're working on the video right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And well, since you have a single, can we just tell people that there's an album?
Absolutely.
So what we got? Well, as we are live, 2 days to release.
Yeah.
As we release, it came out last Friday.
Yes.
But we've been waiting on this one.
We're doing that Inception thing.
Yeah, I think I'll get Lion to send it to you. But yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased with this record, man. I think
It's Here We Go Again, right? That's the name of the album.
Here We Go Again, yeah.
Okay.
I think we did a good job. And you know what kind of makes me know, Jamie, that we did a good job? I was talking to somebody the other day, 2 days ago or yesterday. I can't remember. I get old, so I don't know. Or I say I get old. Yeah. I guess
we all get old.
Yeah.
As long as we keep getting old, we're okay.
Yeah, we're okay. But I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, yeah, I still got a few videos left. And I noticed that I think I got 5 videos left on this album. And that's what makes me know that I got something. Because I know I got to do a Lolita video. I know I got to do a Stet Dreams video. I know I got to do an anniversary video.
You know I'm writing down this track list, right?
Huh?
You know I'm writing down this track list, right?
Let me see, anniversary one. There was something else that I had in mind because it was another record. It was those three, but I think it was one more or two more. Oh, I know I got to do a message in our music video, so that's at least four more left. And then
Lion says psychedelic Sally.
I don't know. We might even do a hanging on a string video, so that would make it 5. And we already got 5 videos out from this album, and Cypher will make 6, and there might be 5 more.
Yeah. What was the single we had? It was like 2020. Was it Now Y'all Giving Up Love?
Yeah, that was the first. So we did Now Y'all Giving Up Love first. We did Here We Go Again second. We did Fallen Soldiers third. We did Handled fourth. And then the 5th one, which is the last one we put out, was the Notes of Impression featuring Rusty Jokes.
Working, man. Like I said, people out there putting out flute albums because they got nothing more to say. You're out here putting out 5 videos.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think the fans deserve more. You know what I mean? Like even when Dre went out, I guess he's touring that flute album now. And but I know people are going to, maybe they get a glimpse, maybe he'll rap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's the only reason they're going. They're not going to meditate.
Yeah,
RZA is.
I have a friend of mine.
Yeah,
who
RZA is.
actually worked with. Went and saw Dre down in New York City, and no, there was no rapping at all. It was all just flute. She said it was this. She enjoyed it, but she goes, it was an experience. She goes,
sure
I can't even say it was a concert. It was an experience. And I'm like, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, again, I just think our fans deserve more than that. And I think, I just don't think it's that, I guess that's the word I would use, right? I don't think it's that complicated anymore. I do believe that in the past, it was a bit complicated. First of all, let's be honest, man. We're dealing with these engineers, right? Black and white, that didn't know how or what to do with us. Because prior to that, they used to record R&B and rock records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And cutting the R&B record, nothing like cutting a rap record. Cutting a rock record, nothing like cutting a rap record. So they had to get adjusted to what it was we wanted to do and sonically what we wanted to do. And then there was some grit in what we did that they weren't used to, because they were used to everything sounding so clean.
Right.
You know, which is that's what bothers me about today's hip hop. It's too clean to me. It's too clean. It's like sizzly clean. And that, you know, all that J Dilla grit, that Q-Tip grit, it's gone. You know what I mean? That Pete Rock grit, it's not there. And that bothers me, because I be wanting to hear some of that. You know what I mean? And it's not only the crackle. Sometimes people think it's just the crackle of the record. It's not.
Yeah. But that does have its place, though.
That does have its place, though. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like scratching it, like, oh, damn. You know, some of it actually even sounds good, but I'm like, I don't know. At some point in the past, the grit gave us some distinction. You know what I mean? And like, yeah. So, you know, but yeah, I you know, so they didn't know what to do with us. They didn't know how to handle that grit. You know, some guys was like me, was screaming in the mic. They didn't know what to do with that. I always tell everybody, and this is no lie, you know, a turntable is a microphone on steroids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't know how to do that. It took them years to figure out that they could plug a mixer into a DI box. Years. I mean, that was way after like a bunch of records had blown a bunch of speakers. You know what I mean? Because they would just they would take in the turntable, they were taking the 2 channels from the turntable, they were grounding it, but then they were plugging it directly in.
Yeah.
And it was just overwhelming, right? So they didn't know what to do with us, right? So, that took some time. It took some adjustment. It took, all of those particular things. You fast forward, man. I mean, like I say it all the time. I hate to be the one to admit it, but everything's gonna be reduced to an MP3 and a YouTube video.
It really is. I mean, I
So-
think a lot of the cleanliness too,
Yeah,
and sterility in the music now.
yeah.
came
That's
after-
the word, sterility.
Great word.
Yeah,
Great
it
word.
came after the loss of the DJ in the group.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
because
'cause
then
that's-
nobody was playing records anymore.
No,
Yeah.
no, everything was done after the fact, or on a computer, and here you go.
I was gonna say now you're cutting little
Yep.
10 to 15 second snippets on an audio file and putting it into
Right.
another
Yeah.
track on whatever mixing software you're using, as opposed to getting a guy who dug in the crates, found an old record, and actually.
Well, yeah,
made
you
that
see
did
Premier's
record
still out there
talk.
working.
Well,
Yeah,
Premiere is,
yeah, Primo's gonna work. Actually, I'm working on, and I've been working on it for a minute. I'm working on this new self-destruction project. My premiere record, because the first thing I did when I started working on this project is reach out to producers, and I just reached out to the guys that I love. So I reached out to Pete Rock, Large Professor, Premier, Easy Mo B, Rottweiler gave me something, KG from Naughty by Nature gave me crazy heat, and I got a few others. And the premiere joint that I got is retarded. Like it's retarded. Like I'm still really debating. Like I think I know who I want on the record. If I could get that cast on the record, it's 5 people I want on this record. But yeah, if I could get it, it'll be beautiful. But this premiere record is, yeah, Primo, all of them, LP, they all came with it though. Like they nice. They. It's funny because they all brought their machines. So funny because they all brought their machines. So we set up in KG's studio that's out in Jersey, and like it's funny to like see Pete Rock walk in with his MPC, and then Large Professor walk in with his, which is a different. It was amazing. Moby, they all came with their own machines.
Right. Because we always talk about hip hop producers, the big ones, being like rock guitarists. When you
Right.
hear their sound, you know exactly who that is
Yeah.
because they all have that signature.
Yeah, it's true. So yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it's a serious project because this time around I want to concentrate on the movement first. Called Stop Self-Destruction this time around. I want to concentrate on the movement first before I concentrate on the music. I want to really connect with the people that's doing what I call the real work, which are anything from feeding the soup kitchens to talking to people when they come home about how to stay out of jail and get jobs and stuff like that. Like I want to talk to people that are doing the real work. You know what I mean? But I want the music to carry it, so that's going to be important. But yeah, but I mean, I said that because you said Premier's still working. Yeah, Premier's still working. I haven't heard the record. It's like him and Snoop did a record, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard the record.
Yeah, no, and he
On
just did
purpose.
one
I didn't listen yet.
on purpose. Man, I tell you.
Sometimes I get a little because man, I don't want to be disappointed. Trust me. Like certain things I don't care. Like if I'm happy with a Kodak Black record, I'm happy. If it disappoints me, doesn't bother me at all.
But
if I'm happy with a Glorilla record, I'm happy. If it disappoints me, doesn't
don't matter.
bother me at all.
Go in with low
Well,
expectations.
I
you
don't
can't be
want to hear
disappointed.
that Snoop and Premier made a record. I don't want to be disappointed. So I wait.
We ran the
Now-
single last week.
Yeah, you like it?
I like the single. I
Okay,
don't know anything
good.
about the rest of the album.
Oh, okay,
But-
good. Well, if you guys say you like it, I'll listen to it.
All right.
I trust y'all. I trust
Yes,
y'all.
Cranky even says it was good.
Oh,
He
word?
doesn't like anything.
That's why he's
There's a
cranky.
reason we call him cranky.
Mr. Cranky Pants. Yeah.
Well,
So
it says it's been.
I hear a lot of who's the GOAT, who's the top 5, blah blah blah, and we take a lot of issue with that because there's no metric.
No,
there's not.
So it's always who is your favorite to us. Now I've heard you say in the past that Jay-Z is the best, and because he puts out records, that was your statement at the time.
Yeah,
but I recall a record coming out, everybody but KRS, which to me
okay. So let me tell you why I made everybody but KRS.
All right.
At the time, so let me give you the whole story. So here's the story. I'm online one day. I had maybe 2 weeks prior, or maybe a week prior, maybe it was like 2 weeks prior. And you can see this on you. The sad part is that you can see everything on YouTube. That's what people don't realize. Digital imprints are really big. Be careful. So Melly Mel and them, it's really more Mel and Scorp, attempted, and it's still online, to put out a new version of The Message. They got on these red suits, and they on this airplane, but it's like a landed airplane, and they on this landed airplane on the airstrip and on the stairs of the airplane, and they trying to make a new version of the record, the Message. And they didn't even re-record it. They just redubbed the original Message. Right? And they, from what I understand, but I think I'm right here, they wanted to go out as Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, but Flash wasn't fucking with them.
Right. That's why they became Grandmaster Melly Mel and the Furious 5.
You know what I mean? Flash wasn't fucking with them. So they wanted to do that. And then they came, some kind of way, Melly Mel comes out and calls Flash Milli Vanilli. And I'm like, what? So of course, it got all the way in my belly and all of that. I got super hot about it. I went out on my terrace. I grabbed my speakers and I did a little tirade. I went off. I played a little bit of Flash It to the Beat, the original one, where Flash is doing the beatbox and all of that. And I ripped Mel a new one. I was just like, where do you get off calling him Milli Vanilli? All of this, blah, 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 blah. So this guy, Lion, who I didn't know at the time, heard what I was doing and hit me up and was like, yo, I'm a good friend of Chuck. I'm a good friend of Kango. He dropped a few names. And it was like, if there's anything that you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Let me know if you need any help with anything. So the first thing that came to my mind was my speaking gigs, which, I'm still, working on, trying to organize that, right? And I'm like, yeah, I really need some help with speaking gigs, blah, 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 da, da, da. He was like, okay, let me see what I could do, blah, blah, blah. And then he was doing some work for Kango at that time, God bless the dead. And then one day he hit me up and he said, man, I'm doing some stuff to try to kind of sell you guys, meaning me and Kang. He said it would be really dope if you guys had some new material. And I was like, you ain't said nothing but a word, because I was sitting on 2 albums anyway. I just didn't know what the hell to do with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had this idea for this record, and I don't remember what month it was or whatever, but I had this idea that I was going to release this record that next year, whatever release the record meant. And I was going to call it, what's that thing they say? I can't remember. It's something they say about old people. It's not hindsight is 2020. It's like something else. It's something funny that they say about old people. Senior moment. That's what I was gonna call it. A senior moment. And that was my idea. I was gonna figure out a way to release this on my birthday on February 20th that next year and call it a senior moment. And then I was already sitting on an album that I had not took from Tommy Boy, but called Old Dad, the Gun, and the Children, that I had made on Tommy Boy. And then when I made the record on Tommy Boy, because I did it on Tommy Boy with my leaving member option, and Monica told me to my face, she said, Daddy-O, we don't know what this record is. So we either could release it with no promotion, or we could just give you the masters. And I said, I'll take the masters.
Take them, yeah.
So I had the masters to that, Old Dad, the Gun, and the Children, which, I kept in its entirety. One producer, my man Bamba from the Netherlands, incredible guy. And that Chuck was on the album already. Method of My Madness, he was already on the album. And then I had the Senior Moment collection of songs. And when I told, so I told Lion, you ain't said nothing but a word. So I sent him both. And I think I sent him the Senior Moment thing first. And then he hit me back after he listened, and he was like, yo, why is this not out? And I said, I guess because I never met you.
So you tell me,
and
yeah.
He was just like, can I let Chuck hear it? Now, listen, Chuck was my friend for years, but I never did any business with Chuck D. You know what I'm saying? So he let Chuck hear it. He gets back to me and says, and feels like record breaking time. He says, Chuck wants to release a single on, I don't know how he said it, like something like a single. He wants to drop the single Friday night on And You Don't Stop on his little radio show. And then he wants the record to be up on iTunes on Monday or some shit like that. Some shit like that. And for the first time in my life, I gave no pushback because I'm so analytical and anal about everything, right? But for the first time in my life, I was like, I don't really have nothing to lose. So let's do it. And the reason I ended up calling that record everybody but KRS was because I thought about what I was about to do. And I said, you know what? There's not one of my peers that I can't take, but I will never try this boy, Chris. Because he's just not the one to try, bro. He's not. And to this day, he's still not.
I heard an interview with him one time where he said the top 100 rappers out there today, he has something for them. In case they ever come for him, he's already ready.
He's not the guy, man. That's really suicide, bro.
Yeah.
The MC,
it really is.
right?
Like people might think, oh, Eminem is suicide, Black Thought is suicide. No, it's not that kind of suicide, bro. It's a different
that's
suicide.
Not the hill you want to die on.
One.
It's that death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, man. It's bad, man. So that was the reason I called it Everybody But KRS, because it was based on me and my peers. And that I would take on, and I even said it in interviews, that I would take on any of my peers, but I just wouldn't challenge Chris. Yeah.
So that leads me to believe that Chris is the best, or
I mean, technically,
you made two different statements.
Chris is the best. Technically, Chris is the best.
Okay. But
that's Chris as an MC, right? It's really not Chris as a rapper, right? Because rapper, being a rapper is different than being an MC. And Chris, he's made some great records, a lot of good records.
But he is the MC.
But he's the MC. You know what I mean? So like I think that kind of puts it. And is he my favorite? No. He's far from my favorite. But but like I think the world of him, because even to this day, and I say it to my friends all the time, they hate when I say this, but it's true. I said, Chris is the only rapper alive that's doing everything he wants to do.
I can totally see that.
He books shows when he wants to. He goes where he wants to. He makes records whenever he wants to. I said, everybody else
with
fits
whoever
in
he wants
some kind of box. Us, me as a person, solo, everybody, we all fit in some kind of box. Chris, no box. 0 boxes.
Chris is the box.
Right? So
Chris
that's
is
what
just
I love.
Open air.
Yeah. So I found something the other day.
Okay.
Is this what you showed me before?
It is. It's what I showed you before we went before we went live. Yeah. Every year,
right
around Christmas,
And
for
keep
our
in mind,
Christmas episode.
Again, we're going to preface this. We've been doing this show weekly for
Yes.
over
Right.
10 years.
Wow.
Yes.
So
we don't miss a week.
Every year around the holiday time,
Okay.
Christmas time, it has become tougher and tougher for Jamie, who does all the research, to find Christmas themed records. So
Because we only cover 70s to late 90s hip hop. We
Right.
don't. So it gets tougher and tougher. And I found, and I know what you know what I'm about to say. I found 2 singles for Christmas time, Deck the Halls and Stetson Santa.
Right.
How the hell did this get by me? I mean, I wouldn't be able to use it because it's not a whole Christmas album, but
right.
How did this get by? It came out on my birthday.
Wow.
Last year.
Yeah.
And I didn't find it until this week. How does Stets all of a sudden put out Christmas songs?
Well, so Stetson Santa is old. Stetson Santa is 80s. Tommy Boy had did a cassette. They actually used to do, it's Monica, right? So Monica every year used to do a compilation cassette that she used to give away to her friends, right? She would put together, a series of Christmas songs and give them away. And that idea, I don't know if it was her that had the idea or if Tom said, hey, we should try to do that with the label. But one year, Tommy Boy decided to do that same thing, but do original Christmas songs with the artist that was on the label. And so we did Stetson Santa. Last year, before Christmas, sometime before Christmas, Delight was like, yo, we should do a Christmas song. Now, I already had like crazy ideas to do a Christmas album, which I'm still going to do. It's just that every year I get ready to do it and I get busy and I can't do it. And if I was going to do a Christmas album, like for instance, if I'm going to do a Christmas album this year, I need to be starting now.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Like I got to get it together. So
yeah,
by the time it comes to October, top of November, it's ready. Right. But I told Delight, I said, I got a bunch of ideas for what could be a Christmas song. You know what I mean? And he was like, for you or for the group? I was like, I don't really care. And so I sent him the Deck the Halls thing. And I told him, I said, D, you're going to have to do what I do. Like I wrote all the talk and all that jazz. So, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll just write a song. Like if I think, either I think we dragging our feet or whatever, I'll just write the whole thing. And then the process is you write the song and everybody does the same exact lyrics. And then you give it to a producer and a producer, basically, we did the same thing with Now Y'all Giving Up Love. And then I sent it to C-Doc because I told Doc, I said, Doc, I'm way too close to this. I have no idea who should be saying what. You choose.
Right.
And so Delight wrote the Christmas. I sent him the Deck the Halls. He wrote it. And then his friend, who's a producer, Kenyatta Moore, kind of basically broke it down and did it. But it was Delight's idea. He said, hey, we should do a Christmas record. I was like, well, I didn't say it in this way, but basically I said, I ain't writing it. Right? So I was like, yo, you write, go ahead, write the record, D. Me and Wiser do it. And one of the producers, Doc, somebody will break it down. And so we did it. And then, after we did Deck the Halls, I said, why don't we just put Stetson Santa on there?
Like a theoretical B-side.
And I'll say this on your show, you know what I mean? I didn't, nobody else, well, because live, and then after that, the album would be dropped. Wise came to me 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and says, hey man, because he's really not doing, besides playing shows, he's really not doing too much human beatbox stuff anymore.
Mhm.
You know, he's kind of took on this new moniker of Lito Brigante, and he's rapping, and you know what I'm saying. You hear him on Cypher, you see he's a different animal now.
Yeah.
And he was like, we don't have no beatbox records, man. We should put People in the Neighborhood on the album. So we put People in the Neighborhood on the album.
Look out.
Yeah.
I like
That's
that.
now y'all giving back love.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, it's some of the stuff. I don't, you know, I got friends, right? And I don't, you know, I don't know if you know the South, but there's a saying in the South, bless his heart.
Yes.
Oh yes. Yes.
So I have friends, bless their heart, right? that always come at me, often come at me. I'm not gonna say always, but often come at me with like, oh man, y'all should do Sally again. Y'all should do a remake of Sally. And they say remix, really meaning remake. You know what I mean? Like, oh, y'all should bring the old. They always talking about how we should try to bring the old stuff back, which I totally don't believe in, right?
Right.
But
yeah, that already happened.
Yeah, but there are some gems, and this is just in reference to Stetsasonic that exists. So Deck the Halls was one. I mean, not Deck the Halls. Stetson Santa was one. People in the Neighborhood is one. And there's a few others that Bobby's still holding on to, which are like either records that we recorded during In Full Gear or records that we recorded during Blood, Sweat, and No Tears that like can really have some play. It can have some place. It just needs to have a family. So you know what I mean? It's like Stetson Santa was cool because we found a brother in Deck the Halls. You know, People in the Neighborhood is cool because we found a family in the Here We Go Again album. So they can exist.
Right.
They just need like support. You know what I mean? Like as a standalone, it probably wouldn't mean much, and that's just true.
Right.
But in a family, it's like, oh yeah, I get it, I understand it. You know what I mean? And it becomes fun. And you know what I'm saying? I was talking to Bobby about the sequence in the album the other day, and you know, it reminds me of when I first started listening to rap albums. You know, not really top heavy, but of course, first 4 songs we slamming you upside the face on purpose.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You gotta grab them.
Got a hook.
And but you know, but it gets, you know, it gets gritty. It gets good in there. You know, the way Cypher drops after Handled. You know what I mean? Because, you know, Wise ends it with that Chris Jericho line, and then that, why can't you? You know, it's really good. You know what I mean? Like it does something. And then I think that there are going to be some records that people are going to like. And I think after a period of time, they're going to end up loving those records. They might not be their first choices only because of like, you got all of this heat, certain type of heat. Like, for instance, the Stet Dreams record is probably, I'm going to say this, it's probably the most modern record on the album. You know,
okay.
Stet Dreams is one of those records that could end up being on the Billboard charts, like, with no problem. Like, just because of what it is and the beat and the way we putting it down and, you know, all of those particular things. So you're going to have that on the album. But then I think that, like, and I said that thinking about People in the Neighborhood, because I think People in the Neighborhood is going to really, really attract, you know, core Stetsasonic fans, because those are people that, you know, they used to hear human beatbox records. You know what I mean? But I think that after a period of time, there may be some new listeners that actually end up enjoying that kind of music. And again, I think it's because it exists in a family with the ciphers and the Stet Dreams and the message in our music. Like, you know, because it exists with those things, it's almost like that validates it. You came to the party with them. Oh yeah, you could come in too. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it is a piece of the masterpiece.
Yeah, I believe that. That I solidly believe.
We got a question here. Peter Nicholson wants to know if you were in a movie.
No. So here's my movie.
You have a movie tie-in?
No, here's my movie tie-in.
Okay.
So I
IMDb
lost roles to two great people. There's a movie called, I want to say it's called A Long Run, but I think I'm wrong. But it's Samuel Jackson and Gina Davis, I think.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Long Kiss Goodnight. I tried out for that role. I got beat out by Samuel.
Oh, not by Gina.
And I tried out for the role of G Money in Sugar Hill and got beat out by Alan Payne. And after those two, I said, I'm not going for any more auditions.
You're better than me. If I had gone out for two roles and I lost both of them, I wouldn't care what the name of the movie was anymore.
Right. So yeah. So I mean, I still think about it a little bit, especially now, like when you see like some of the stuff that 50 is doing with like the Power series and stuff like that, and you're watching people become good actors over seasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Meech's little son was just horrendous the first season. He was horrible. And he's actually watchable.
Tough to watch.
You know what I'm saying? He's watchable now. Meth is still horrible, but he's getting a little better. I'm an old guy, so it's hard for me to call James Cagney and Method Man an actor.
An actor.
You know what I mean? It's just difficult.
Plays meth. Meth plays meth very well.
Yeah, he plays meth very well. Yeah.
Yes.
But I think about it all the time because there's some high school principal roles I could get away with. There's some
especially being a professor
roles I could get away with.
Daddy-O.
Yeah, I could get away with those easy. You know what I mean? So, but that's a long answer to a short question. No, I was not in the movie. I lost out to Alan Payne and Samuel Jackson, and I felt like, you know what, these guys are better suited than me to do this job.
I was gonna say, that's not a bad pair to lose out to.
Yeah, right.
No, it's not at all. Not at all.
It's not like you lost out to DMX. You know.
Funny.
Indeed.
I can see you playing a lot of like Tim Meadows type roles.
Yeah, I could
see
do
that.
Yeah, I could do that. I definitely could do that.
Or, you could be the Brown Hornet and Tracy Morgan could be Stinger. I always say Tracy Morgan should play the Brown Hornet, and they should do a live action of that.
That'd be funny. That would be funny. Tracy's funny.
Oh, dude's hilarious.
He's funny. I don't think Kevin Hart's funny.
Yeah,
I never got the
Kevin Hart was
memo.
pushed on us.
Yeah, I never got the Kevin Hart memo. I never got it.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does well with The Rock. The two of them play well together.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kevin Hart was kind of pushed on. It says, "This is the funny guy. You'll think he's funny."
yeah. I come from a different.
Yeah,
but I'm an asshole. So I like Lisa Lampanelli
Welcome
and Sarah
aboard.
Silverman.
I'm an asshole too, and I'm the pushback guy. If you tell me that somebody is
I'm gonna tell you, you know who's good though? That kid, what's that kid's name? Ralph Barbosa or something like that? Little Mexican kid? Oh my God, this kid's funny.
No, now I'm gonna have to look him up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I think his name is Ralph Barbosa or something. Yo, man. This kid, man. He's good, man. This kid had me rolling. He's funny.
I didn't know his name. I recognized the face. I just looked him up. Yeah, I recognize
Yeah,
him.
he's funny, man. He's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like slow. It's like, I don't know, man. He got some funny jokes though. Yeah. And he's real too. It's like he's very very realistic. So it's good. But yeah,
That's why.
I like all the assholes. Like Lisa Lampanelli is one of my favorite
Yeah.
comedians. Like,
I mean,
you know
I
what I
go all
mean?
the way
Like,
back to
so
like
and
Dr.
and
Dirty
right now, I
John
mean,
Balby.
she's probably not working right now because of the atmosphere.
Yeah, because she can't. Yeah.
Yeah, because she can't. Because if she worked right now, then she's just condemned.
Mm-hmm.
Stupidness.
It'd be like if Sam Kinison was still around.
Yeah, like, come on, let's go. Loosen it up.
Yeah, it's called comedy. It's
Yeah, like a black guy, a Mexican guy, and a black guy, a Puerto Rican, and what's the other guy? Black guy, the Puerto Rican. I can't remember the other guy. I could say whatever. Black guy, Puerto Rican guy.
And you know what you've just described? Every commercial that's on TV right now, because everything has to be represented.
What's the joke? I'm trying to get the joke. Hold on, guys. Let me get the joke. Damn, who's the
Don't worry,
third
we'll edit
guy?
it to make it sound like you had it first shot. Don't worry.
Who's the third guy? Oh man, I'm trying to figure out who it is. Okay, I'll do it this way. I have to make up my own. A black guy, a Mexican guy, and a white trailer park guy are in a car. Who's driving?
The police.
Oh, that's it.
I knew that one.
Yeah. What was another one my friend had told me the other day that was so funny, man?
See, people can't tell jokes like that on
No,
like, major
man,
specials and
they
stuff, or for fear of getting canceled. And that's one thing that
stupid, man. They so stupid. I can't get it, me. I really can't get it.
Well, that's because you're an asshole. So
now, see, back when you were recording, there was no fear of getting canceled. Basically, people could say whatever they wanted on the record. Now you got to, you don't have to, but there is the possibility that some overly sensitive person's going to tweet out something, and the next thing you know, it's going to be a hashtag cancel Daddy-O or cancel Stetsasonic, and it's just, I can't even imagine having to do that.
Well, it's going to be, what I think is going to be interesting is there's some Daddy-O Fuquan controversy in the unsung that's coming up.
That's soon.
So that's
isn't
gonna
it?
be kind of interesting. I'm an asshole, so I'm not worried at all. But
That's
I
gonna be
just
the
do
next
wanna see the
Daddy-O
way
solo
people-
album, by the way. I'm an asshole. The new album by Daddy-O.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. But it's gonna be interesting how people see like certain things, like what they see about certain things. But this is what I told the girl, and this goes into the asshole thing. This is this woman, beautiful woman, not only physically but beautiful spirit as well. This woman Fatima, who's the producer of The Unsung. I told her when I met with her, I said, listen, all of the Stetsasonic problems, any whatever, it's all gonna come back to me. And let that rip. Let Daddy-O the asshole rip. Like, don't try to protect me. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't do any of it. Like, let it. And she did it, but she did it in such a creative way that I was so happy about it. But I mean, I stand my ground. Like I don't, I give you just a sneak preview, but there's a part in The Unsung where I say, and and this is true. I used to always tell the guys, if you don't get this shit together, I'll do this shit myself. Like, I really don't need you. Like if you want to do this, that's cool. But I mean, and then there was, there's guys, we ended up with the people we ended up with because they came to practice. Because when people wouldn't come to practice, I would kick them out of the group.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because
you don't come to work, you don't have a job.
Like, so I mean, I've always been like that, because for me and this band, it's always been about excellence. We gotta try to get to the pinnacle of where we could be. Will we ever be whatever? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I'm not even really trying to that kind of way compete with my peers. Rhyme wise, I am. But you know what I mean? Like, in terms of popularity, I can't determine who is going to be the most popular. somebody might wear a stupid little hat and get popular. This is no lie. When Slick Rick came out, Tommy Boy asked if any of us could speak with a British accent. I looked at them like they were crazy. You know what I mean? And they always wanted to do something kooky, which is why they ended up doing the Humpty Dance.
Yeah.
I mean, for years, you don't understand. This was all in the making because they always wanted to do something silly. And we wouldn't do nothing silly.
No.
You understand? Like we did some
Brooklyn, I don't
funny
speak
stuff, but
British
we was
accent.
not going to be silly. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, you never know
There's
who's
a
going to be the
difference
most
between-
popular, but excellent is a whole nother story. And I am totally all about the excellence. Like if you see us on stage right now, people be like, man, you guys look like you looked before. You know,
that's by
I was
design.
watching something, something came across my timeline this morning. It was this morning actually. Because yesterday, Fat Joe had that big concert at the Apollo.
At the Apollo, yeah.
And there was a little Kim, there was like a little Kim thing came across. She was horrible. They horrible. They sound nothing like the records. They're not rapping. They letting the audience do half their lyrics. Just whack.
Yeah. And then
Just
rapping
whack.
over a track too.
Yeah, and they rapping over a track. And the whole thing is, you know what? I have a tape. I gotta find it. I never forget, we did Paradiso in Club Paradiso in Amsterdam. I want to say 1988. It was either 87 or 88. And we went out there. We did the whole On Fire album. Then we were working on In4 Gear. We did that. And then we still stayed on stage and did a whole bunch of routines that we did from back in the day. They would not let us go. And I never forget Chuck D calling that the best show he had ever seen in his life. Now, the reason I'm talking about that show is back then nobody had instrumentals, but you could never tell when we were rapping on top of the record. There's a few YouTube clips of Stetsasonic. One is us performing DBC Let the Music Play. I think another one is us performing. I don't think there's a Go Stetsa, but there's something else. We're rapping on top of the record, but we learned, we were taught by the best. We learned how to rap on top of the record with the same pitch and be so far above it that you couldn't even hear what was underneath us.
That comes with being a professional.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways to do it.
An
If
MC.
you gotta put the track, if you have to put the track, or you could do what Tupac did. I just watched the Tupac clip and he was lip syncing his ass off. But he was so good at it, yo. Tupac was so good. He was so good at it that you couldn't tell because, and that's the way the pros do it. The pros do it like, if you ever look at the professional lip syncers, the Janet Jacksons and the Britney Spears of the world, right? They sing some, then when they get ready to start dancing, then they lip syncing the whole time. Then when they stop to go slow, like Janet will sing anytime, any place because it's slow.
Yeah.
But when she got to do control, she's lip singing, but you don't know because
the only way you
they
would
go
know
in
is
and
because
out
you
of it. So
you would hear that
sometimes you
heavy
hear that,
breathing.
and then a lot of times they do the other thing that they do that's really, really dope is they go in the studio and record concert vocals.
Yes.
Which are, you know, that's fly too. You know what I'm saying? So there's a way to do it. I'm not saying don't do it.
I think
but
you see that
you
in
got to
the
know
Super
what you're
Bowl.
doing.
You know, the Super Bowl halftimes, I think they do those concert vocals.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I just saw something that had Cher, and I'm 100% sure that she was doing that.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But in and out, you know what I'm saying? In and out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? When she stops, she talks to the audience, da-da-da-da, boom, 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 so you don't really know. A guy like me, a lot of times I can see it, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I can't. Or sometimes, you know, the best part is when I'm looking and saying, are they? then that means that they
Yeah,
really
that means they're doing
These are
it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's dope. Yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
Jay. I think we're just
Yeah.
about on our limit of time for StreamYard here. They're gonna shut us down.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for coming in late, man.
No,
No,
don't
we
be.
thank you for coming at all. I mean,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
and
we learned a
anytime,
lot.
Yeah.
yeah, and anytime you want to come on, I mean, seriously, you have my email. Hit me up. Say, hey, I want to come on and talk about whatever. We got an
All
open
right.
chair for you anytime.
Hey, you ain't said nothing but a word. I ain't gonna tell you, man. You should have never said that to Daddy-O.
No, I mean, it is our honor to be able to help you spread the word
Thank you,
of
sir.
whatever's going on. I mean, it's
Thank you.
these
I appreciate that.
videos
And
come
I'll
out.
make sure I'll get you a copy of the album. If it's not today, then it'll be tomorrow.
wonderful. We appreciate
right.
that.
Once he
All right.
comes back from his little sojourn, Jamie's going on a cruise.
We're going on a
Maybe
2-week cruise.
Oh, that's
we get
nice.
we get that album. That's going to be a record of the week. Maybe Daddy-O comes back on with the album and tells us about it when it's the record of the week.
Oh yeah,
I
that'll be
gotta-
dope.
bad
I got to
plan.
tell you too. I told everybody earlier, but I got to tell you, I was in the Navy for 20 years, and I was taking college courses on the ship while we were deployed.
Oh, you're going to
Wow.
love this.
And I had a test, and it was a geography test on Africa.
Wow.
And we had, you had to fill in all the places. The way I learned it, I was going AFRICA. Angola goes here, Soweto, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Zambia, Mozambique. And I knew that's how I remembered where they
Wow.
were.
That's dope. That's pretty dope. That's
So
pretty dope.
Professor Daddy-O teaching me and didn't even know it.
I didn't even know it. All right, gentlemen. So we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you, sir.
The
All right.
one and only
Peace.
Daddy-O from
Take care.
Stetsasonic on
Peace.
Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Whoo.
Wow.
3:39.
Dude, I have to go. I'm going to shit myself.
Well,
What are we
I
gonna
need
do?
you.
We're going to do a intro here.
Yep. Give me my. Hold on. I gotta pull up my.
We didn't even finish. Welcome back to Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 532. That music can mean only one thing. It is time for our special guest presentation. Please welcome the legendary from Stetsasonic, Daddy-O, to the show.
Beauty. And Peter, we did not dodge the P. Diddy question. We just talked about it last week and earlier in the show. So go back and listen to the show.
Yes.
All right. And sign off. We don't need everybody else's stuff, but let me get my music real quick to sign off. And we can start the just go with the right before Cool Keith.
Yep.
All right, Shree, what was your mama?
Thank you all for joining us. We will see you live in a couple of weeks. We have a couple of shows coming up for you. Until then, everybody, don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Go find us, share the good word, take good care of yourselves and each other, wash your hands.
Wash your butt.
And most importantly, until next time, keep it classic.
And like Cool Keith said, you can take that back and pull them thongs out your rectum crack.
And always remember,
new school stale, old school fresh.
That's fresh.
F-R-E-S-H